Community mechanical, Jake.
Community mechanical, Dan.
What does that mean to you?
Means that I can go up and work in my office and I can have what is known as a mini split right there. It has 2 buttons on it. It says too warm, too cool. And I can work comfortably.
Oh, really? Okay, so they hooked up the air conditioner high atop your garage.
They did. Community Mechanical can do that for you. They can do preventative maintenance. They can do anything when it comes to your HVAC system, your HVAC needs.
Did you know if you sign up for their preventative maintenance, you get 10% off all parts and stuff?
Did you
Parts
know?
and stuff. That's not in the copy.
And did you know that if you go all the way,
hell yeah,
and get a new system, you get yourself a 690 sit-in.
They're great, man.
They really are. So hit them up at communitydfw.com, 469-667-7290. They were big players at the generic summer event Friday night. Pretty much goes for every sponsor we've dealt with. People will just come up to me and are like, hey, I dealt with such and such, Community Mechanical. It was great.
Yeah.
And you know what Community Mechanical says to me? All your listeners we deal with, they're great.
Yeah, they should get a room.
CommunityDFW.com. Don't hear that much anymore, do you?
Get a room?
Yeah.
No, we're bringing it back. We're trying to bring it back here. On the Dumb Zone on this, a Thursday morning. We're recording this live to tape and live on YouTube if you care to do that. At 11:32 now in the AM. My name is Dan McDowell.
My name is Jake Kemp.
We also have Clayton Kimbrough here. Intern Henry is here. If you are a listener of the program, you might have usually heard a little voice that you thought, is he gay or is he just countrified? What is he?
Is he speaking to me about how to open the eyes of my heart to the Lord?
He does sound like a youth pastor.
Is it just a faint buzz, like the sound you'd hear next to a hive?
Blake Jones putting us to a test today. Apparently, because I talked to him earlier, and he said, I'm on the train. The train has been delayed. And I said, what? That's the reason you take the DART, is because it won't be delayed. It is you can set your watch to it, right? It's always consistent. That's why you don't want to get out in traffic. You never know what's going to happen. There could be an accident. But if you're on the DART...
Yeah, I don't know how all that works. I really don't. It would seem to me that, you hear the keep it running like a train schedule, but what happens when something happens? Everything must just be screwed, right?
I guess, yeah, what happens when something happens?
That's what literally, dude, I was running yesterday or the other day and ran by those train tracks over in Grapevine. And it's like, what if something happens? There's people just running by here all the time. There's the homeless guy I saw the other day. Like, what if he just chills over there and they got to stop the train? What happens if something happens to the trains? Well, what happens is you don't have a producer.
Well, we're put to the test now. Because he always likes to act like no one else can do what I do. You guys are, I'm indispensable. And we've bought it every step of the way. And handsome raise after handsome raise. It's just whatever we can do to keep you, Blake Jones. And now he's not here to start the show, and I did say to Clayton, can we do this without Blake? And Clayton wasn't sure either, just because Blake's also filled his head with these these thoughts. So he's very uncertain. Can this be done without Blake? But so far, we believe we are up and running without Blake.
Got a spot done.
Got the intro done. Maybe a little rocky on the start.
We already have our 11:45 guest ready to go. I don't know if he can hear us or not, but
he's in the queue?
He's early.
Oh, okay. Well, then
we don't have to take him right now.
Let's pop on in a minute while we
want
lay
to prove what we can do without Blake.
Because it is Thursday, so we have the big viewer mail thingy that
the Thursday viewer mail follow-up extravaganza inclement fossil thing.
There you go.
We will have some gummy thoughts like we do every Thursday. Oh, we have a big announcement. Sometime around, I would guess, an hour and a half-ish from now, maybe even 2 hours. It's a big announcement. Can we even say what it's regarding or no? It's regarding this black sign that is in the studio.
Commerce.
We have a studio downtown Dallas. It's in the Fox 4 building. And we're doing a little, what's the short, Reno?
A little bit of Reno.
Remo?
No, you don't do Remo.
We're not renoing, though. We're
Nobody says Remo
decorating?
for remodeling.
Rede? Anyway, we have a new sign.
We do.
And you might be saying, well, why is that sign blacked out? Or you might not care at all.
You might never, ever see that there's a visual product here. But let's just say this.
It'll be an audio product, too.
Dan,
once we start telling you about it.
Hyping up the product that old hot Amy gave him over the last few days. Let's just say the people in charge of...
The crabs? What?
The vibrator.
Oh, okay. The other thing she gave me.
Yeah. I'm slow. They heard. They've been listening and they heard. So more on that in an hour and a half.
Oh, they heard about the vibrator. They're not...
They just heard that we're big fans and they reached out and
okay.
Maybe we'll have an announcement. Did Angelo kidnap Blake? It's what all the people are wondering. What's the chat saying?
Oh, yeah.
Wait.
Angelo is Blake's hobo.
Blake's in the chat.
Okay.
Oh, Blake's looking at it. What are they saying about me? You know who loves Blake humor? Intern Henry.
Oh, that happens a lot.
He effing hates Blake.
That seems to happen a lot.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
That is fine. Yeah, so that's coming up on today's program. Also, in sports, I guess we might have a little NBA Finals talk, as that's pretty interesting.
Oh.
Would love to see Carlisle win it. So, because the question has been, was it Dirk or was it Carlisle? And now the answer... It's kind of like the Tom Brady.
Everyone's been saying that.
Belichick thing, and now if Carlisle gets his second.
What did Dirk do after Carlisle left?
Then he'll be able to prove right. Nothing. He just retired. He couldn't even play. And Cowboys minicamp. This is different now. It's mandatory. This minicamp you have to go to. So despite that fact, during his press conference, Shoddy kind of bragged on 100% participation at mandatory minicamp.
Like Eric Johnson tweeting his election results. Largest landslide victory in City Hall history when he ran unopposed.
Yeah, I guess. Like, we told everybody they have to be here or they're fined, and then it's like, you know what, 100%. We got everybody here. They just love Shoddy ball. Which we might now. Do we have to do this today? Because is he going to have another press conference today?
Shoddy. Last week it was only one, but he may.
Shoddy is. This is early Shoddy. It's gold, dude.
Yeah,
I have a lot of good stuff. If we don't get to it today, it'll be a nice behind the paywall show for the folks who do subscribe at patreon.com/thedumbzone or at dumbzone.com.
That's right.
On there, on Substack. All right. Should we do the other sports thing that we have on the plate for today?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Which is well, on my run sheet, it says Savanah Banana's guy.
That's right.
So he's a player.
Yeah, a few weeks ago we did a check-in with one of Dan's daughters and one of her friends. They had recently gone to a Savanah Bananas game at Clemson's football stadium, and it was sold out. This was on a string of other sold-out, football and Major League Baseball stadiums. And we were talking about it, and I was reminded that our friend TC, in part of his video production work, he had told me that he had made a video for a guy who was trying out for the Savanah Bananas program. A guy who I guess had trained over at our buddy Parker's place in Southlake, a baseball training academy. And his name is Fisher, and he joins us now from a baseball park. I don't exactly know how to say your last name, Fisher, so I'm going to let you do it first, and then we'll go from there.
Well, it's a doozy for sure. It's Fisher Polydoroff, emphasis on the off.
Okay, Polydoroff is your government given name.
It sure is. You betcha by golly wow.
Because it definitely sounds like a made-up baseball player from one of the video games where they didn't have the MLBPA licensing. Fisher Polydoroff.
It sounds like a Hogwarts name.
There you go.
Absolutely. I'm thrilled to be here.
Yeah, for sure, man. So let's get your story a little bit. I gather you're from the area, so your history as far as playing ball, how you ended up where you are today, and where are you today?
Well, currently I'm sitting in Grayson Stadium, home of the Savanah Bananas, and it's been a wild process on how I've gotten here. Being the youngest player ever in the Savanah Bananas organization. But yes, I'm from the DFW area, and I've got a lot to share with my story.
How old are you?
19 years old.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, my the second youngest teammate is 23. So there's a bit of an age gap. My throwing partner is 29. So he could be my dad in a far off world.
Yeah, we're in a weird far off world.
In a weird
they
world.
probably do
you
have
even
some
think of that, bro.
some cultures, and historically, he is in Georgia.
Yes.
So you play in high school, and then what was your level of play in high school? I mean, you go on to small college. Like, what were your options coming out of high school, and what were you in high school?
Yeah, so I was actually a third baseman, second baseman in high school. I had a bunch of D1 offers. I was going to go to Tulane University, but decided to stay home and go to Weatherford College, one of the top ranked JUCOs in the nation. And I had a blast. I actually only stayed 1 year, but I was a third baseman at Weatherford. I got one inning last year, threw 9 knuckleballs and 1 fastball. Came in to close out bottom of the 10th inning. It was absolutely electric. Guys had never seen a knuckleball before. I was the first knuckleball pitcher in Weatherford history. My coach informed me. But yeah, I had an awesome time at Weatherford College last year.
That's odd to get. If you're going to get 1 inning pitched in college, it would be at the end of a blowout or something, not in the 10th inning. You wouldn't think in a closer
for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. We needed a guy. My coach had heard that I had thrown knuckleballs all my life. I was taught by R.A. Dickey, Cy Young Award winner, from a young age, and that's been my thing on the mound. I'm a primary knuckleball pitcher.
What was your interaction with him?
So my dad worked with him back from 2012 to 2014. I got to spend some time with R.A. And he taught me just about everything there is to know about the knuckleball, the trick pitch of the MLB, a dying pitch for sure.
Worked with him means what?
He was so my dad worked for Dickies, and they had signed 3 MLB players at the time: Jose Altuve, R.A. Dickey, and Yasmani Grandal. So I got to fly out to spring training and spend the day with R.A. himself, and man, just an awesome guy, awesome testimony, and man, just what a ball player.
Did they sign him because, like, when Taco Bueno got Taco Charlton to be a spokesman?
I sure hope so, because that you can make a lot of puns with that.
Yeah, I think that's probably what it was.
And so you weren't, obviously, I guess, no offense, but you weren't like thinking I'm a legit major league prospect.
No,
Okay.
not quite. I mean, I'm a 5'11", utility guy that can, I can hit the devil out of the ball, but not very projectable in terms of landing myself on draft boards. But I do a lot of stuff off the field. I'm trilingual. I'm a multi-instrumentalist. I play 10 different instruments. I'm a performing magician, and I also sing at retirement homes. I sing 50s, 60s, and 70s music. For the elderly.
Yeah, so when Parker was telling me about this guy, I'm like, what did they just do? Create a player for the Savanah Bananas?
Yeah.
He's like an undersized utility guy who's singing the anthem or playing the anthem on a saxophone.
Yeah.
So how do you try out for the Savanah Bananas?
So I actually wrote a song, and I made a music video about why I want to be a Savanah Banana. T.C. Fleming and Parker Sheahay. They helped video. We had 2 videographers out there. It was a major production. I was dressed in a yellow suit. looking like the man from Curious George. And I just put everything out on display. I wrote an entire 2 minutes of song and then a 2-minute montage.
We play a little of it here?
Yeah,
Want to turn it up a little bit?
Tricks up my sleeve is my game. Oh, I want to be a Savanah Banana.
Where'd you get that yellow suit?
Oh, I want to be
From Amazon.
a Savanah Banana. Georgia on my mind like
It's glorious.
It is. It's,
Shows you
my
playing
life's
piano.
work.
You're wearing a yellow suit, standing on the mound, throwing a pitch.
He's got like the 1920s swing to him.
Yeah. That's my shtick.
Is this AI music? How do we do that?
Yeah, so it's an AI track, and then I played some instruments on it as well.
And when I'm not playing ball, I'm probably in a cool suit.
Okay,
I speak
so
3
what was your-
languages, so I can
What are those 3 languages?
Looks like you got a little Portuguese in
Portuguese, yeah, Portuguese and Spanish.
Okay.
And I'm working on a 4th. I'm trying to learn French right now.
there. Okay. So what I'm interested in your upbringing, Fisher, because clearly it was unique. You don't usually people are trilingual or they're a multi-instrumentalist or they can hit the devil out of the ball, but not both. So what was your upbringing like?
I was always interested in the arts. To say ever since I was a kid, I've been reading about baseball history and I've been just kind of diversifying my repertoire for my entire life. I'm not one to play video games or spend too much time on my phone. People ask me, where do I get the time for all this stuff? And I'm always moving, I'm always learning, and trying to diversify my repertoire.
You play Wordle?
I actually do not. I sometimes I'll play Immaculate Grid.
Immaculate Grid, yeah.
Immaculate Grid.
This just seems like one of those type of guys, Dan.
A great guy?
A great, yeah, like a type of guy.
Yeah.
Well, a smart guy.
I play Wordle every day, and Jake thinks I suck.
I don't think he sucks. I just don't want to hear about it every time he does well. But no, what I mean by that is smart guy, Dan.
Okay.
You're a smart guy.
Hey, thanks. Yeah. So once you send that video in, then what?
So I sent the video into the organization, and they were head over heels. And what I did was they invited me to a tryout in Kansas City, actually 3 days after our Weatherford College season ended. I hopped on a jet plane to Kansas City, and I showed up dressed as a 1950s baseball player. So I brought 3 instruments, I brought a bunch of different props, and I carried them in a yellow suitcase onto the mound. And I ended up striking out 3 guys with my knuckleball, and I struck out a dude with a softball pitch. It was about 70 miles an hour underhand. That's one of my specialties. It's another ace up my sleeve, so to say. But I was in character the entire time, so I was talking in a transatlantic accent, and I'd introduce myself, and I didn't even break character until the end of the day. See? Yeah, they were calling me old Curly on the mound. And everybody loved it. The entire organization. I found out I was the second only unanimous pick to sign.
That's awesome.
And
dude.
yeah, it's they were all digging the shtick. I didn't break character until the end of the tryout when I talked to Coach Gillum, the head coach of the Bananas, and I just gave him my my testimony and why I want to be an entertainer, a showman of baseball.
Why is that then? What'd you say?
I was really sincere about the connection with the fans, and we've got fans inside the stadium right now that come from all over, and the motto of the Savanah Bananas is fans first, entertain always. There's a certain level of responsibility that you have to have with taking care of people and really creating connections, because it's not about the thousands of fans that come to the game. It's about one fan at a time, and that's what I'm all about. I love signing autographs. I love talking to people, whether it be in my real voice or saying, "Hey, Sonny Jim, would you like an autograph?"
So what? Like, if you weren't a Savanah Banana. Like, you probably don't have a major because you went to 1 year of college, but what would your major have been? What would you think you would do in life?
So my major at Weatherford was jazz studies, and I was honing in on the jazz flute, which I've been playing for about a year and a half. Yes, a Ron Burgundy reference.
Yes,
we'll be making the Yaz flute. I will be making many references to Ron Burgundy throughout my career. I guess I would probably be into music. I have over 500,000 streams on all platforms. I make comedy music. I make every single kind of music. I'm on a quest to make every single genre of music, and just once again diversifying my old repertoire.
So when you're talking to them and they're all jazzed up, like you probably felt pretty confident they were going to be to like your bit, and then they're offering you a contract. What's that negotiation like? And what's the contract for a first year player? What do you make?
Yeah, so we have a team. The Bananas have a team for the summer. It's called the Visitors, and they play the Savanah Bananas at home. And we're playing the Party Animals in Louisville in the AAA stadium for the Reds. And the Visitors are kind of like a pre-Banana Ball team to decide which teams the players get signed for. And as many people know... So wait,
this is a separate team that you're not playing against the Bananas. This isn't the Washington Generals playing against the Globetrotters. Or
no. So it kind of is. So they have a lot of teams. So not a lot yet, but they have 4 teams in the organization now. The Bananas, the Party Animals, the Texas Tailgaters, and the Firefighters. And they're adding 2 more teams for the World Tour. And in 2026, we're going on a cruise, and it's going to be a spectacle. They're playing. They're doing Banana Land at sea. So no baseball games on the cruise, but we'll probably be hitting some home runs into the ocean and whatnot. So so there are 4 teams now, 6 teams in 2026. And then you have the Visitors that play in the summer against the Party Animals and the Bananas. And then after the Visitors season is over on July 28th, they disperse the players, and they're having a draft in November.
So you say no baseball games on the cruise, and you also avoided my what do you make thing. We'll go back to that. But no baseball games on the cruise. My daughter went to the game in Clemson. I don't know if you were part of the Bananas at that point. But
I was not.
She's a Clemson student, and she went to the game, and she said what she saw really barely resembled baseball anyway. Like, she's like, I couldn't tell what was going on. Like, she was just and this is a kid who has grown up with TikTok and iPhones. She'll be playing a game on the computer while on her iPhone watching a movie. And she said it was sensory overload for her.
Yeah.
So that's what this is. It's everything on steroids. It's not even a baseball game, right?
Well, it's the highest level. It's not the highest level of baseball, but it is extremely competitive. We have guys that are former first round picks. The baseball is really good, and I can testify to that just by being here for 2 weeks at this point. The ball players are they're fine ball players, but they're not only that, they're fine entertainers. And the show is kind of a mix between WWE and the Harlem Globetrotters, even though it's not scripted. A lot of people think that it is, but you can't really script baseball. It's just too hard. It's high-level baseball with showmanship, with creative bits, and the Bananas are doing 50 new things every night. So the show will not get old for hundreds of years. Who knows?
What do you make, though? So do you start off with a different contract because you're not an official Banana yet, or what's the deal there?
Yeah, so we're making $1,000 a week for the summer, and then after that, we have the chance to sign a contract with one of the existing teams. So that come November, whenever we're all drafted, they'll be handing out a lot of contracts, and the salaries are always increasing. One of Jesse Cole, the owner of the Bananas, kind of philosophies is he's not trying to make $1 billion. He's trying to gather 1 billion fans for the team, and he's turned down a lot of money and a lot of licensing rights to really just make it affordable and available. You know, all the games are streamed on YouTube and ESPN as well.
Okay, so what I'm hearing here is, because I've been through this. So the owner is like, look, I'm not trying to make I don't have a lot of money to pay you, so I'm just trying to.
No, that's not. Well, that 60 Minutes thing, I don't think that's what he's saying.
I'm messing around, but.
No, but I'm saying for real.
But it is what an owner would say if they don't want to pay you a lot. They'd be like, I'm not about money.
No, but what I'm saying is they have rebuffed advances from private equity. I do know
okay.
that. Like, there's
Yeah.
a 60-minute story about like how they've already been tried to be, and frankly, it may still happen one day. But like, this guy already could have cashed out big time, and maybe that the players make more money that way, but long term, they don't because things fall apart when they get bought.
He said no because of 9/11. The Saudis are. I'm not going to take their money.
I don't know what it was for,
Oh, okay.
but for now, he's keeping it. He's keeping it in house. So, what is like as far as a training regimen? I mean, are you like you've got to entertain, but if you're like if you're unable to like locate like your knuckleball for a strike, are you like, God, I gotta figure this out? Like relative to a regular baseball player, I wonder what your mindset day to day is like.
Yeah, so I mean, I've been throwing the knuckleball for about 10 years, and I'd like to think that I've almost mastered the craft. I'm always working on it, and I'll be throwing with Knuckleball Nation, which is like a clinic for knuckleballers around the world in the off season. It sounds like a secret society of master Jedis, but yeah, it's there's a lot of what I do day to day that's about baseball, throwing bullpens, and I've already had some pretty good success out here in inter squads. But it's definitely a lot on the plate of a day to day regimen. Playing the jazz flute in my bedroom at 9:30 and also pumping out content. That's a huge part of what we do. We are, we're content creators now.
So they encourage you guys to be like
TikToks.
active on your own accounts, that sort of thing.
Oh yes.
And as
Of
far as
course,
that
yeah.
goes, is there I mean, there's got to be some level of trust. I mean, they're letting you guys represent the brand, but that does get a little tricky when it's like your personal account, but it's affiliated with the team. I don't know. How do you navigate that?
So we don't really have too many requisites on what we post, but everything has to be centered around the fans, and we have a responsibility to inspire and to create good content, wholesome content, funny content. So you won't have any guys that are posting too much explicit stuff, and that's part of who I am. Ever since I started making music about 3 years ago, I've never put out an explicit song, and everybody here is just, they're so eager to teach as far as social media and tips and tricks, and it's just an awesome environment. Everybody here is just great people.
That's cool.
Boy, the knuckleball stuff speaks to young me because, you find out early you're not going to be a major league player, but I thought I could learn the knuckleball.
Yeah.
And I used to always think, could a person perfect the knuckleball and actually make the majors as a knuckleball pitcher? Because just about every knuckleball pitcher threw 90 at one point and then lost it or something. R.A. Dickey himself had to develop it. So I just wonder. I guess you're not the test case for that because you've sold out for the Bananas.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's some of the best knuckleball pitchers don't even get into the prime of their career until their late 30s, which is insane to say. Phil Niekro and Hoyt Wilhelm, the old knuckleballers of the golden days. They didn't find their groove until they had quite a few gray hairs.
I am picking up from this interview. You're probably not going to like emphatically answer this, but are there like Savanah Bananas groupies? Like, do you guys have like road dogs? Like, there's got to be people that.
I do not know yet.
Okay.
I guess that'll be a question that I'll have the answer to later down on this yellow brick road, shall we say?
Because it's kind of the perfect. It's minor league baseball in a sense, where it's like, okay, you can go out, people aren't going to recognize you.
But is a real
there's a
groupie
level
looking for the money train? Like, are we looking to?
No. But you got to go lower. You got to go down to that next. Anyways, this doesn't concern you, Fisher.
I don't know.
We'll handle this later.
Well, Fish, you can answer that like maybe in the fall. Can we check back in with you and just see how things are going? Like, obviously, I'm thinking there's no doubt he makes.
He's young, but
you're not trying to necessarily make the Bananas. You're trying to even make one of the 4 teams, or what?
Yeah. So there's the sky's the limit with old Knuckles, as they call me around these parts. But for now, I actually have. So for the visitors, I'll be wearing old timey ball caps. like
Okay.
like
Wow.
this here,
I
this,
like
Like a
this pillbox hat.
1905. Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. And this one right here, this is my trademark right here for Old Knuckles.
That's
But I pitch with an old glove. This is my yellow submarine, as I call her, decaled with a yellow submarine and a banana right there. So
Parker
it's a
asked me to ask you about Grandpa Jimsby and the outing in Tomball. Does this have anything to do with this glove?
It it kind of does. So my old Mitt Sally, she was a gift from Papa Jimsby, and she smells of rich mahogany and decaying tobacco. But Papa Jimsby gifted her to me whenever I was just a young whippersnapper, and she's tried and true. She's tried and true. So in Tomball, I was pitching in a summer ball game, and I went out there and did my old wind up like Tungsten Arm O'Doyle or Bob Feller, and I put on a show. So that was kind of a taste of what would come with Banana Ball and Old Knuckles Polydoroff.
Do you still throw a fastball?
I do,
Okay.
but I call it a speed ball. I have names for all my pitches.
Why not? Of course.
Yeah, like the Australian slingshot is my pitch from down under, as the Australians say, and it's about 67 to 71 miles an hour, and that's my put away pitch with 2 strikes.
Just bits.
He speaks Australian too. Yeah.
Quadrilingual. Well, Fisher, thanks a lot for your time, man. Good luck out there. We'd like to check back in around the draft, and
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, fellas.
All right.
It's been a pleasure.
Fisher Polydoroff.
Remember the name. Might be the last thing you ever hear, folks.
That's ominous.
All right. And we'll say that was brought to us by Fairlease. Fairlease.org
Fairlease Navidad
is not your typical car dealership. They're owned by the Credit Union of Texas, which means they put your best interest first. What did the guys at Community Mechanical lease from them too? And they said that really helped out, the fact that they're owned by the Credit Union of Texas. So yeah, you should check out fairlease.org. Great for commercial vehicles too, if you'd like to lease your fleet or your couple of vehicles for your small business.
Yeah, how many vehicles doth make a fleet? I don't know. Fairlease could probably answer that question for you at fairlease.org. You click request a quote. You select the dumb zone on the how did you hear about us. Yeah, great for the individual because it could save you time as far as having to go to the dealership on the weekend. Hey, maybe you can attend another children's birthday party because of Fairlease at fairlease.org.
And joining us now, Blake Jones.
Whoa!
I made it.
Who rolled in there during the Savanah Banana guy interview.
He was good.
Great job, guys.
Hey, thanks, man. Thanks for tuning in on YouTube.
Blake Sod poodled up today. He's got his minor league baseball game on.
Yeah, Michael brought us some gifts to the DZGSE.
The dude drove from Amarillo.
Yeah.
Brought us some sick stuff.
The guy from the Sod Poodles?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I ran into him. You want to give us your tale of woe? Why, sir, are you late also?
Yes,
we're up
sorry.
and flying. Are you upset that we're actually going and we're able to get on
Honestly,
the air?
we rushed the guest because I wanted to prove we could do it.
I'm very proud of you guys. Yeah.
Dude, Clayton was back there like Kenny Gant doing the shark.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Clayton's like realizing that you've been lying to him all these years.
He doesn't need me.
Yeah.
None of you guys need me. So, as detailed on the show, I take the DART train up here, and up until today, it's been great. The first train was, I don't know, like 10 or 15 minutes late, which has only happened like once or twice before, but typically a missed train is a missed train. You're just 10 minutes late. But at every stop, we would have to stop for about 10 minutes, and there would just be the delay jingle. Hey, so sorry, we'll be back with you, or try to get you back on track as soon as we can. And the only thing circulating in my mind was, I wonder if this has anything to do with the House bill that was trying to cut DART's funding.
Oh, damn, son, you got text-ledged?
Because not that I was worried, but I did keep up with it because some Plano rep wanted to cut DART's funding by, I think, 25%.
It was probably Jeff Leach. Our helmet wearing
That
congressman.
doesn't sound familiar. But anyway, it got through the House, shot down by the Senate. I don't know. But that's all I thought about is what if DART is trying to say, no, we need 100% of our funding, and what if our trains are not on time all the time anymore? So I got on the train about 10:20, and by 11:15, when I wasn't at SMU Mockingbird yet, I figured that's probably a problem, and so I called an Uber, got out of the train, got here as soon as I could.
Oh, wow.
Dang.
No, I would still be on the train, probably at City Place or just getting into downtown. Now, I did see that DART put out something that they're having power line issues, generic. But
That's the grid.
Matt
I think
Shaheen?
yeah.
Okay.
Something's up here.
Okay.
Sorry, I'll pay my fine.
We immediately were suspect of Angelo.
Yeah.
Put himself in a tough spot.
Yeah, we've been going through it.
We're going to be blaming him for a lot.
We're trying to figure out our process right now.
Is there more updates since Tuesday?
He got really mad at me yesterday because the money wasn't on the card, even though he'd spent it all. And so I was like, okay, look, I know you're having a hard day. Here's 25 more. I'm a sucker. Don't.
Dude,
Don't
you gotta
you
block
tell
him.
us to don't.
You got to block his number.
I know, I'm close, but I'm trying to be forgiving of this gentleman who's going through a hard time, and I'm not judging him anymore for what he's spending, but gave him 25 more. He spent it immediately. I told him, look, dude.
On what?
Whataburger.
For those who don't know,
Which is-
imagine most people know, but Blake befriended a homeless man on the DART,
Yeah, we don't.
gave him a Venmo gift card, and now the guy's kind of not happy with how much money
Yeah.
you're putting on it, basically.
And so this morning, he sent me a text really early this morning that said, hey, I'm sorry I had a rough day yesterday. I was like, we're all cool, man.
You guys got made up a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, yes. I can't treat
This is
I can't
awesome.
treat this person like a normal, sane person, so I have to have a lot of leeway with him. His emotions probably run high.
Raising a small little boy probably has helped you here.
Yeah.
They're the most illogical thing ever.
Yeah,
as kids, right?
I think the boy is way ahead of this.
It definitely helps, yeah, but the boy can't break into his house in the middle of the night like a grown man can.
Right. So I said, it's all good. I know you have hard days, but just keep in mind there's $1 in your account because that's a part of it. He doesn't know how much is on the account.
Yeah.
So I said, you have $1. And I'll be damned.
He figured it out.
He spent it?
He went to Whataburger again and had transactions declined for $10 and $6 after I explicitly told him, you just have $1 on the card.
Maybe there was a mistake.
No,
Maybe that guy
there's
was lying to
not.
me.
Maybe the guy, my lifeline, is misleading me here. Also, how did his... I don't mean to, like, make fun here, but, like, what's a bad day? Like, how much different
That's
was
where, you got to feel bad.
I know. Like,
I mean,
so
bad-
the other...
Because
Bad
every
days-
day you would think is kind of bad.
I
Yeah.
don't know, probably getting beat up or not getting a meal, or it's probably pretty
Well-
bad. It's not like our bad
I had my
day.
card declined at Whataburger.
Or I sat in traffic for 10 minutes. It's probably worse than what I am going through, which is why I have sympathy for the man.
I don't think you need to assume he's just getting the piss kicked out of him every day.
Well,
That's why
but-
he needs to be able to get the barbacoa with
No.
queso.
No, but that's
That's what you would do to him if you,
You're projecting.
yeah.
I'm going to give him a taste of what he deserves.
no. I just took him at his word that he had a bad day.
Well, anyways.
Like, is he... Let's rank the homeless guys in their situations in DFW. Like, he's top 10% for sure. Like, he ran into a guy who gave him a gift card, and he's now...
He's in a new tax bracket.
He's gotten hundreds of dollars on that gift card in just the last few weeks,
And
right?
Yes.
Like, just imagine that. He can't believe, like, he's... Like, I'll bet you a ton of people would...
No,
that's what
dude.
you have to tell him is like, dude, even though you're having a bad day, look around you. How many people would trade places with you?
But
Yeah.
you can't communicate that to him. He can't understand that or rationalize.
Which is something
Because I've
we
tried.
do in our own lives. This sucks, but...
just the
And that's what you're
relative-
doing with him. You're saying,
relativity, yeah, but-
whatever, sitting in traffic sucks, but...
But Dan,
not
I
answerable.
know what Blake is saying, and the guy's probably a guy who's like treatment eligible, maybe. of some sort, and I'm just telling you, like, I don't think you're having. You mean you had Eddie on the other day?
I mean, you say treatment he's not going to Specs or whatever. He's not. He could spend that money there, couldn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He's buying food. He's not.
I'm
just
also
going to
not.
liquor.
I'm not saying that they're all drunks. I am saying that this guy, you're trying to
Mental
do
treat.
like logic
Some treat.
reason with him. That's not going to happen. There's also the chance that he is smart and is not buying booze with that card because he doesn't want it to get it cut off. He never considered that him merely kind of going a little bit top shelf on fast food, that he would then have 20,000 people judging his every single decision. He just thought, well, I'm getting food, lay off me. And now we're just all...
Whataburger is a nice option, though.
Whataburger is...
Because before it was like
of a
Torchy's versus, you could have had a Taco Bell deal for...
You hadn't been to Whataburger in a minute, dude.
Huh?
I'm a big Whataburger fan. Whataburger is not like there is no cheap meals out there anymore unless you go buy...
Yeah, but you're going to get a nice size burger and all that. Like I've always thought sometimes
That's true.
He loves their hot apple pies.
And again, that is a luxury.
Oh, healthy?
No, it's
apple.
not.
Word apple.
No, it's
There's
not.
an apple.
No, he needs to be just carbs and protein. He needs to be eating bean burritos. Keep going. He could live off of them. What?
He could, yes. How many bean burritos could he buy for the same amount that he's buying one burger?
7, 8? Yeah, I mean, enough to where you'd be full for quite some time.
And you know how really smart people listen to the show?
Yeah.
Like I've been sent economic case studies.
I know.
on this,
Yeah,
and
we're
it's
getting into
amazing.
yeah.
Which is kind of retooled how I'm viewing this. Like I'm just trying to respect. Like, okay, dude, you want some taquitos? Go ahead. It's yours. It's your money. Now it's not what I would do, but we obviously have different backgrounds which feed into that. But I don't know. It's his money. Whatever.
What if he saw he went and got like a bucket of balls at the range? Like, would that be?
He's at Topgolf.
Yeah. Hitting in the cages.
You've seen movies.
Just crushing 75 mile an hour.
A movie. That might be a thing I would think he'd spend money on.
The air conditioning.
Yeah, air conditioning. Well, the last few days.
Well,
quite pleasant here indeed.
Run the ball guy just went straight to the spread offense, and I think he's having some troubles.
Yeah, and
We got to modernize.
That's that's why they had to do away, I think, with the unlimited movie pass, because like homeless people or what I get, like people would just stay in there all day, like in the summer.
I don't blame him.
It was cheap daycare, Jake. My mom didn't have a lot of options.
There you go. Well, Blake's here.
We're glad that you're back, Blake. Because for all the, hurting our arms, patting ourselves on the back for actually getting up and flying, not sure what would happen if he wasn't here, like at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Everybody wants there's
people we could call.
Well, Henry, time to figure it out.
Their podcast, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, Henry was so glad you were gone.
I know.
I was going to take over the show.
All right, let's before we do some Thursday viewer mail thing, we should do a little sports.
Oh, yeah.
And it's brought to us by Trident Access Services, or just Trident. It's our garage door company. Pretty new sponsor for us. They joined us out at the DZGSE. And they are at txtrident.com. Garage doors, Jake.
Garage doors.
That?
Veteran-owned company. Jeremy came up here in studio, met him. I would trust him with my life. So definitely my garage door. You can go to txtrident.com. They have some very sick examples of their work up there. These things are clean looking, reliable, professional garage door installation all over DFW. Jeremy's a big listener. It was great to see him out there the other night. So we appreciate Trident Access Services. Their website is txtrident.com. 817-512-1212. txtrident.com.
How about this? Entry gate.
Oh.
Not just garage doors.
And not just gates that you can leave.
Don't you hate the garage door
One-way
companies
gates, yeah.
that only offer the exit gate?
Not
at
at
TX. I
TX.
can't get back in my house.
Not at txtrident.com. Entry.
Yeah.
Entry.
Entry and exit gate.
Trust Trident. Yeah, we got a couple things we could do here, man. I mean, we got today, we got tomorrow on the NBA Finals. And we've also got Cowboys.
Did you have any of your Carlisle stuff ready or no?
Yeah,
Did we do NBA Finals stuff today?
Yeah, I can play a couple things here in just a sec, but I'm just now going through the audiobook of the Tim McMahon Luka book, and kind of going at a slower pace. But it's to Luka's rookie year, and it's just about how big of an a-hole Rick Carlisle was. And seeing him in the finals, I think a lot of people may have a little revisionist history of how his career ended here in Dallas, because I think we all agreed it was time for him to go.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's complicated. You know, like you can say that he was an asshole. It was time for him to go. He may have, I don't know, run this guy or that guy out of town on the staff, while also saying, like, he's an awesome coach. He got the most out of his teams here, post-championship and championship. And, yeah, it may be a little bit complicated, but at the end of the day, like, he's a Mavs legend.
For sure.
He's a Mavs legend.
He wasn't – I thought the bottom line was it wasn't working with Luka, and you choose the superstar over the coach.
Right.
If it's not working, even if it's a great coach. And that's the way it was viewed. And yes, when he left, a lot of the stuff wasn't only that it was time, but hey, actually this guy was kind of an a-hole.
But it was so everything though. It was Haralabob and Donnie. You know, like everything was happening at once. And if you listen to Haralabob now, he speaks the most highly of Rick. Now everybody's got their favorites or whatever, but Haralabob will say, "Look, I know how people perceive the guy, but he'll listen to a new idea." And that's obviously evidenced by the success he's had elsewhere coaching. So.
Well, in the end, he's pragmatic.
Right.
He is kind of a controlling guy, and he doesn't play young players a lot, but he's got an eye for talent. He knows basketball, and like immediately, remember, because I think there was a thing early with Dennis Smith Jr.'s career where he wasn't playing him enough or something, and people were wondering about, he just doesn't like young players. That's not the kind of coach he is. When they won the championship, that was a real veteran-laden team. There was no guys he was bringing. He's always been bad with young players. Luka comes in. He immediately recognizes, you know what? I've got a lot of philosophies about defense, and that's the most important thing, and that's how we win. Actually, I'm going to kind of leave it to this guy. Why even tell him what to do offensively? I don't understand how he's so awesome, and we're going to become an offensive juggernaut. And that's the way we'll win games, by outscoring people. And then they have one of the best offenses in the NBA, as I recall.
Yeah.
And
they did that a couple different times,
and
too.
yeah, Haralabob, that's a good example, because Haralabob, from what I understand, and even Haralabob would probably tell you, I'm not like a people person. I'm not shoddy.
Right.
I'm not a guy. I don't want to have dinner with you. We're not going to get along. I'm not worried about our friendship. I'm worried about numbers and this and what's going to make the team better. And ultimately, I think that's Rick Carlisle too. And he thought, okay, this guy does have some stuff I can use. I'm going to use. It's using all your resources. So yeah, Rick Carlisle was great, and then he finds himself in this situation, and he's worked that to. Seemingly to the best you could with that.
Yeah.
You know, he's brought that talent as far as you can bring it, which might even be the whole thing.
So I didn't know this. Haralabob only took the Mavs job if they drafted Luka.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
he waited until after the draft.
he doesn't. Well, he waited till after the draft to take the job officially, but he is a big part of the reason they took Luka, because he'd been working for Mark for a few years, and I actually think Haralabob,
But officially coming in the building, all
yeah,
that.
I think he could pound his chest over Luka a little more. He doesn't. There's a lot of people that'll claim Luka. Donnie for sure. I mean, he should. He made the trade, but Haralabob was a big part of that. Yeah.
And the second thing is that I'm glad you brought up Dennis Smith Jr. because, he did play a lot his rookie year, but in listening to the book, it was only because the Mavs were trying to tank. I think
hated him.
Yes, had they been somewhat of a contender and
Who hated him?
Carlisle
Carlisle.
hated Dennis Smith from the night of the draft on, or at least that's what everybody says.
And this first clip from the Luka book written by Tim McMahon, he kind of tries to drive a wedge between Dennis Smith and Luka, and this is after the fourth game of the year. So the fourth game in Luka's career, he's having to go through this with his coach. And I will change the source
I blame Dart.
right now.
Carlisle made it clear, clip after clip, that the kind of effort he saw in Atlanta was completely unacceptable. Suddenly, Carlisle paused the video and declared that he needed to address the elephant in the room. He called out Smith in front of the entire team and basketball staff for being jealous of Doncic.
Which is pretty strong to do.
Yeah.
And now the book, it goes on to explain that Luka and Dennis Smith were extremely cool. Not roommates, but lived in the same building, played a lot of video games. They got along well. So this kind of came out of left field. And another funny thing about this book is this guy tries to do his best Dennis Smith Jr. impersonation.
Yeah, I remember listening to this, and yeah, you can tell the guy's not exactly familiar with basketball culture.
Of Doncic. Smith snapped back at the coach. What? We real cool, Smith said.
Yo, dog.
He's probably just having to read the quote, but still, I don't know if you have to do the
Smith
voice.
snapped back
We
at the
real
coach.
cool.
What? We real cool, Smith said, genuinely surprised by Carlisle's assertion. With a confused look toward Doncic, Smith asked if there were any issues he wasn't aware of. A shocked Doncic shook his head, appalled that his coach seemed determined to drive a wedge between himself and his teammate.
So yeah, within 5 games, now he's got to do this mental game of, I'm friends with this guy, the coach. I don't know, just not the best situation for Luka to jump into, I don't think.
Yeah, it was weird, and I remember like people saying that in Europe the coaches will get on your ass. Like, and I've seen Luka get yelled at in timeouts by Slovenian coaches. Like he just takes it. It looks like a college coach. So I don't think he has a problem being yelled at or being coached hard. You know, he was 15 playing with adults. They were having to coach him hard. I think it was more just that Carlisle is a guy who's really into manipulation.
Well,
That's not just coaching hard. That's like he's a mind game, psychological warfare guy. And that I don't know that Luka was used to.
and I thought it was more about how he treated other people.
Right. You would hear that.
And
I
was
mean,
just kind of like
Dennis Smith Jr. That's what I remember hearing at the time, is that really bothered Luka. Like, how awkward is that? I mean, you know how that is when your boss is calling you out and your buddy's there, and you're like, dude, come on, we don't have a problem. It doesn't have anything to do with us.
Yeah, you've had bosses that you don't like
Rick.
how they treat other people, but they're fine with you.
Yeah.
And they might be fine with you because you're the superstar. You know, Luka's the superstar. Of course, the coach is going to be kind of cool with him. But, yeah, to see how he treats those around him.
Yeah, and so it's just two strong personalities that were not going to work out in the long run. And I don't know if the general fan wants to say Carlisle should have stayed and Mavs would have been better with him. I don't know. But it was clearly not going to work, and that was just from Game 4, so I would imagine they had a lot of spats after that. This kind of details Luka's very go with the flow, didn't like being coached. They bring up Rondo and even Jason Kidd, and I was curious if this was a small reason why Carlisle recommended Kidd on the way out.
The Mavs got a glimpse of that when Smith missed a November 24 home game against the Celtics, an Eastern Conference contender.
So they're saying Luka was very comfortable playing point guard without Dennis Smith Jr., and so I think that's when they began to shop him a little.
In an otherwise phenomenal first quarter. If you tug at Doncic's leash, be ready for him to bark. The friction between coach and phenom about creative freedom was a consistent subplot during Doncic's rookie season. Carlisle had earned a reputation as a control freak, having clashed with accomplished veteran point guards Jason Kidd and Rondo about play calling, ultimately relinquishing the reins to Kidd and running Rondo out of town. Some of that type of tension developed between Carlisle and Doncic as well, but their on-court issues were more stylistic disagreements.
So do you bring Kidd in saying, look, Kidd had to face the same battles you did. Kidd knows what he didn't like about that kind of coaching philosophy. Was it just a buddy hire, kind of?
Absolutely.
Or just a former point guard?
Absolutely. Kidd was hired to be Luka's coach. Kidd was hired for Luka. I have a superstar who runs the team. Same thing. You know how to be a superstar. That's what we're all about, is the superstar. And that was part of our criticism, I think, when he first got hired, is just that, you know, the best coaches in general seem to be able to relate to the entire team.
Yeah, you just don't have that many guys who are super, super skilled who end up being great head coaches. You know, you reference it all the time with Ted Williams, right? Like, just do what I do. They don't understand that people can't grasp the finer points of instruction like they can. But I don't know. I think this for Rick is great because he doesn't seem – he's probably still a little bit of an asshole, but he seems a little more fun now. Like this happening at the end of his career, whether it's not the end, but this happening in the later stages of his career, I love it. Like that people may remember him like for this because this Pacers team is fun and it's totally different than that Mavericks team.
And remember when
totally different, you know.
You've cited this many times. When the Mavs did hire him, that was the result of a really in-depth coaching search where they were breaking it down analytic-wise, weren't they? On saying
crazy.
Who is the best coach that is out there?
Yeah, there was some writing about this. Roland Beach was a guy who used to work for the Mavs who owned a website called 82 Games, and they did, I mean, Cuban's description, it was on bad radio, of the coaching search was insane. Like running out of timeout numbers and looking at plus minuses of guys like how they played for their team as opposed to another team in the same season. It was thorough. And impressive, which is why it's a bit odd that the next time around the same guy, Mark Cuban, interviewed no one.
It was incredibly baffling.
There's no search whatsoever, and
right, it's guy I know.
They threw Dirk in there as a smokescreen. You know, not saying Dirk didn't want kid hired, but they kind of brought him in as cover. Like, well, look, Dirk's representing it. So
you like him? Yeah, I like him.
That's cool.
Yeah.
He
would have said that for Tyson Chandler.
Right. Yeah, and so.
Any of his buddies on that team.
Rick, now, I don't know. I get frustrated watching the finals. I watched quite a bit of the game last night just because I still have This Should Be Us. Like when I see Benedict Mathurin or TJ McConnell like doing crazy fun stuff, I'm like, that's what's fun about being in the finals. Those guys will never buy a drink in Indiana again type thing, you know? That could have been –
and this team they have could have –
yeah, like –
could have beat Oklahoma City.
I was back
and been in the finals against Rick Carlisle.
Back in December before Luka got hurt, or even in January, you're thinking, boy, Najee in the playoffs. Like Najee could become our Deshaun Stevenson of 2025. Like guys who just they're in the lore forever. And when I'm watching TJ McConnell steal inbound passes and put up threes, and that place is just it's insane. The field house up there. They're beating the Thunder at their own game. You know, game one, I think you said, like, man, they just got lucky. Game two, they got walloped pretty hard. But, dude, they thoroughly dominated Oklahoma City last night, even though they were down 5 heading into the fourth.
Yeah,
and I think Rick has a lot to do with it. A lot to do with it. Because the Thunder are just a very hard team to disrupt, and his teams are capable of doing it.
Yeah, they got in their face a little bit. Miles Turner bullied Chet down the stretch, felt like.
And he had like 5 blocks, too.
So last clip for you. So we talked a little bit about this. Luka's step back, whether it was curated in Europe or whether he developed it his rookie year in the NBA. He says he had never done a step back before until the NBA, which I don't think is true.
It's not, but
okay.
He may have called it something else. But
sure. Carlisle hated it.
Hunted highlights to please his rapidly expanding base of Instagram followers. Carlisle also hated how often Doncic launched step-back threes, a shot the rookie took more often than anyone other than reigning MVP and scoring leader James Harden. He told him right to his face, "You can stick that step-back up your ass. It only works in Malaga and Venice," said Procopio, a Boston-bred wise-ass whose sense of humor didn't exactly endear him to Carlisle.
So, yeah, coach telling phenom Luka.
Well, here's the thing about that, and that's why I feel like maybe Rick eventually had to go. He was right. Luka's first couple years, he was not making that shot. It was a bad shot. He would take it. You might have remembered it being good because he made some big ones, but the numbers were there. That was a shitty shot for Luka, but as of, I don't know, I think last year, the year before, maybe the year before that, he was hitting it at a degree that was like higher than most people hit their normal threes. Like, it's become the most unstoppable shot, or one of in the game. But he might not have ever gotten to that point if Carlisle was always his coach.
Right.
Because Carlisle was trying to kill that shot.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to be able to take it to eventually make it.
Yeah, I think the creative liberties thing in the last clip kind of nailed it, where Luka may not have ever blossomed into what he is now if Carlisle would have remained his coach.
Yeah, and it would have been different. But I agree. I think kid's been good for Luka. The crazy thing is we're talking about this like it didn't work. Like, oh, was Kid the right coach for Luka? I don't know, man. They went to the finals 2 out of 3 years with wildly different rosters. Yeah, there were problems, but it was 100% working.
Right, and it was because, yes, you were not hired as X's and O's guy. No one is raving about Jason Kidd's matchups and all that kind of stuff. It was because he was hired to let Luka be Luka and bring the best out of that. And he did. It worked, but it worked.
Oh, well. Yeah, we'll do some football tomorrow.
Let's do that because it's really it's gold, dude.
Yeah,
shoddy stuff I have is unbelievable.
I like this because I went through Micah and a lot of Micah's about Shoddy. I'll just give you one little morsel. Shoddy called him on his birthday.
Of course he did.
You know who didn't?
McCarthy.
Mike McCarthy.
Did Micah say that?
Well, he said Shoddy called him, and he said it's different than like with a normal offensive head coach. They don't really care about you like Shoddy does.
That's great.
It's the little things.
Hey, look who's in studio. It's Julie Dobbs,
I like
everybody.
a good birthday call. Just saying.
I know. Speaking of, on Julie's 40th birthday, we had like an hour and a half long call in the morning, and when I got off, I had a text from my wife that was just like, today's Julie's birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't say
you're
anything.
No shoddy.
And I didn't say anything, and then I thought, well, she probably forgot about that until just now.
I didn't forget about it. I didn't forget about it. Nothing's changed. I can still call you out for stuff just like one of the first times we ever really worked together when I was calling you out about making fun of my son's name.
And I think I told her this off
All
the air,
this
but Carter asked if he could change his name to Ryder recently.
Did you say yes?
No, I hit him.
Yeah.
No, but
no gay names.
Ryder's the Paw Patrol hero, and
yeah.
He's like, well, why don't I just have that name?
I'll just give you one.
Okay.
And then we'll save the rest of it for tomorrow because we did talk about Greek dancing. We talked about goodnight calls.
I loved that video.
I bet you did.
I loved all these videos.
I know.
Julie might think Shoddy is probably the Vince Lombardi.
You, Julie. They're for you.
Yeah,
they are for me, and I'm important. I'm valid.
Oh yeah.
As a consumer and a fan of the team.
But he shortens words too, and I've never heard this word shortened. I want to check with you guys.
It's probably more the physical traits than anything.
He's talking about the running backs. How do you actually evaluate running backs in shorts, all this kind of stuff?
It's probably more the physical traits than anything. The other thing that you do see is the ability to not physically pass protect, but handle the mental X's and O's pieces where, okay, I got to look at this guy, but I got to be able to periph what's going on over there.
Don't you verb peripheral.
We got to periph that.
Peripheral. Is it peripheral?
Peripheral is the actual word. But yeah.
It's like a word I feel like maybe a lot of people say wrong.
Yeah.
Peripheral. I think there's another R in there.
Well, you don't have to worry about that with Shoddy.
Just
peripheral.
Just periph.
Periph.
Right. He's cutting out the hard part of the word.
Exactly.
He's making things
He's
easier.
cutting out the hard part and making it a verb.
Yeah.
You can't.
That's
not allowed to just take a noun.
It's kind of like how you were like, my gosh, Mike McDaniel is doing this, this, and this to make. He's doing this, this, and this with the English language.
It's a whole new.
I thought it wasn't X's and O's.
Hey.
I thought he was going to do the right thing because he played ping pong with Dak earlier.
So let's do some viewer mail with Julie here. And she's here because we have a big announcement later as well that she's going to be somewhat involved in.
Mm-hmm.
Viewer mail today brought to us by One Day Doors and Closets. I always forget to say and closets.
You do be always forgetting.
I know, everybody, and then I'll get so many emails on that. Anyway, Julie has had One Day Doors to her house, and they have installed doors all in one day, right?
It's true. Everything you just said is true. And I think the cool thing that I didn't realize is how much of a difference it was going to make in my world. Like, they're just doors, but makes a big difference, especially if you work from home and you need it to be quiet in your office, or if you have kids that are really loud and dogs that are really loud that bark every time a package gets delivered and you're on calls. It really helps, and the doors are very pretty. So there.
Yeah, and Ryan says that, per the name of the company, he had been led to believe it would take 1 full day to install the 7 doors in his house, but it was only a couple hours, which, as he points out, is 22 hours less than he expected.
There you go.
That's over-delivering.
But probably they can't change the name to 3 or 4 hour doors and closets.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they look great. They say, like, hanging a new piece of art in every room. It's like something you probably don't think about when you walk through your house. Great to schedule as a gift. So hit them up, onedaytexas.com/promo30. That is onedaytexas.com/promo30. That is a BOGO on doors.
BOGO.
So do something cool for someone in your family. Get them some doors.
Get them doors.
Just get them doors.
And it especially makes sense if you're remodeling, right? Like, if you're going to be doing this.
All right, we're done with the
construction anyways.
Dan was trying to make Remo happen.
Don't invite the sales girl on and tell her to stop selling.
He wanted to try to do Remo for remodeling.
Oh.
And I don't think
that doesn't work. I'm sorry. Because you don't say remodeling.
Did you see Clayton, Dan?
No.
You good to go.
He gave me a thumbs up?
He gave you a thumb right up.
Okay. Love Clayton's thumb. Well, let's lead off then with this email, which you could send to bracketdan@hotmail.com. It'll get right to me. It's incredibly fast.
Man. Living large.
You guys have emails as well, but Blake claims they're posted somewhere. I did get a things that are back prediction from Adrian. He's predicting, as I predict. What did I predict? I have some
Dodgeball.
Dodgeball will be back. We've been talking about things that are back. You can say the mentally disabled slur. Isn't that great? Oh my gosh, I'm free. Anyway, the Joe Paterno statue.
Oh,
He says in 2012 it was removed and stored in a secure location, so it has not been destroyed. As we're now renaming our...
That seems so
We took a lot of Confederate
unstable.
names off of stuff, and now they're putting it back up, I guess. So
It seems so what?
Unstable.
To bring it back or to get rid of it?
Like, to just store it just in case.
It does.
Like Dr. Evil or something.
It's just,
like, put it on ice.
It's just tough. It's tough because it involves pedophilia. Like, are we saying... Like, obviously, Sandusky's never coming back.
Right. They won't put that statue up.
But... Paterno, it was because he knew about pedophilia. Like, people being proud of the South because they're racist, that never really went anywhere. It was just kind of like in the background. But
they're not racist. It's just states' rights.
Pedo, though? I don't know. I think I'm going to have to disagree with the
Will in Richmond, Virginia says, Mr. Dan, can we get an update on the SNL Fantasy League now that the season is over?
Okay.
Blake just shook his head.
The big season.
This is a fake. Is this from K.Turner at Hotmail?
Well, joining us now is Kevin Turner.
Oh, God.
Who is the guy who
Hey, Kevin.
put together the...
Can I just say, like, you don't have to lie to us about the origin of the email. Like, off the air, Dan's like, man, I got an email about the...
I'm not lying.
Overacting.
Will in Richmond, Virginia.
How did you pick Richmond, Virginia?
Okay, these guys are idiots, KT. I'm a big fan of KT and that mustache. Anything Blake does, you got to do, huh?
Yeah, and I just want to give a big shout out to intern Henry for getting you guys on the air today.
Yeah.
People didn't think it could be done.
Shout out.
So,
KT knows how hard it is.
No one thought it could be done.
Get out of here, KT.
Anyway.
Clayton's fine, too.
I didn't know you had a mustache, Kevin. You didn't tell me this.
I didn't until I found out at about 11 a.m. I was going to be on the show today.
It's a hot new mustache just for today?
It's the Blake stash.
He can grow one that fast.
Nation.
Wow.
He's just like...
Lucky us.
Pushes a mustache out.
Just think really hard about a mustache.
Did you guys work together on The Freak, you and Kevin Turner?
Yeah, damn.
Were you on the same program?
We were on the same program until
Julie
they
and I
moved us.
Julie and I woke up together for about 6 months.
It's true.
It's hot.
It's
And
true.
they're like,
And then you were on the afternoon with Reiner and who?
Kavanaugh.
And Kavanaugh, okay.
Yeah, but I was on both shows with Kavanaugh. We both made the jump.
Okay, and KT somehow still on that ship. He kept his job and got all you guys fired.
Pretty much.
And hopefully, or I guess this is a
Unforgivable.
private thing when he said hopefully Ben and Skin are next. But
hey, let it be known, because I've never been fired before. I was fired for 4 days, and then
That was an interesting move.
Came crawling back, begging, knocking at the door. Don't let me go.
No, I'll never go back in there, Julie.
yeah, so KT Kevin
Mikey,
Turner, he's
I'll
on the
never
free-
go back.
Just kidding, Kevin.
And he also on his YouTube page did an SNL fantasy draft. I was a big participant in this, and the season is over now. Who won the season?
We had a tie between me.
Dude, this checks out so hard. Every one of his bits and games ends in a tie
A
somehow.
tie or
there's
like-
no winner. There's no payoff.
Or there's some sort of like technicality,
Let him finish.
an asterisk or something always.
You have to
It's
carry it
insane.
over until next
Vacated
year.
wins. There's like a salary cap
Confusing
charge.
rules. Very confusing. Okay. Let's let him
Yeah.
go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Let's just follow the rules of the guy who rides the dart. Okay. Hanging out with hobos.
Okay, we're taking a look now
More than
at
hanging out.
So the way the fantasy draft works is basically it's who's going to host or who's going to be the musical guest. And 8 people, or is it 10 people in a draft? I don't know. However many people are in the draft. You just go through it like a fantasy football draft, and you get to pick names just out of the blue. You get extra points if they're a host/musical guest. So maybe you're Timberlake or somebody like that can do both.
Yeah.
Maybe our Savanah Bananas guy someday.
Maybe.
Will be the musical guest and the host. But yeah, boy, you kind of kicked ass there. Did you have the first pick?
I had the 8th pick in the draft, but if you look at my strategy, I leaned really heavy on music releases. Like when were albums going to be coming out? I hit on Coldplay and Jelly Roll because I knew their albums were coming out. That's what I leaned in on. And the big story of the season is that Dan didn't show up to the draft. But
No. I had a GM.
But dude, you had a sneaky good pick, because when you picked in the 5th round Parker Posey, I kind of was starting to lampoon you. Like, Parker Posey's not going to host, but she ended up being like a big pop culture figure of 2024 and 2025.
Kind of
with the White
surprised
House.
she didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good. I would like to invite the Dumb Zone to be one of the teams as a full team in the 25-26 draft. That'll be coming up in August. I just need commitment from 2 of the 3.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Okay, there we go.
Are you in?
What does that mean, a full team?
Like, we're the ones that pick.
But you didn't even pick before.
No, I didn't.
He set the precedent.
That's why he
All we have
wants
to do
the
is
Dumb
say
Zone.
yeah.
He's trying to get one of us on his YouTube channel.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
He knows the star power of Jake Kemp.
And I think I'd be, I thought I'd be decent at this. Now I'm looking at the season 50 list, and I don't know who half these. I don't know who. Was it Mikey Madsen?
We should have picked Walt
Juanita
Goggins,
Brunson.
dude. Walt Goggins was a good one.
Tate McRae. That seems like a shortstop.
She sings. It's a girl, and she wears hockey jerseys and sings. She's from Canada.
Interesting.
Some say she's hot.
The musical guests are going to be tough.
Mick Gee? There's a musical guest named Mick Gee?
The musical guests are going to be tough for you.
Yeah.
But as far as
guess
the
them.
comedy stuff, like, that's your bit, dude.
Yeah, but how many comedy people are on here? There's Nate. There's Bill. Oh, there's more than I thought. You're
A
right.
ton.
Yeah.
Mulaney, Shane, Bill Burr.
Jack
Like-
Black.
You know these people. You host a pop culture based podcast. Like, 10 people. You could do the draft here. Look at TC. TC just nailed it. He had the number 2 pick in the draft. Just took Lady Gaga. Boom. TC had a good run there.
Okay, I'm in.
Okay.
Thanks, KT in Richmond.
I swear. Look,
Thanks
when
for joining
when
us today, KT.
When I emailed Dan about this, I really didn't think it would make the run sheet. I'm pretty
Listen to
surprised.
me. I'm going to be getting in my car at 3:05 today. And if I don't hear, it's been a while,
Yeah, when can I get Tool tickets?
First of all, we're giving away Ranger tickets this week.
All right, thanks for joining us, KT.
305 is not when we would be playing a song for the most part.
That's Kevin KT Turner.
Jake, don't you know?
Love you, Julie.
You can hear
Hi,
him
Kevin.
on 90-something The Freak. What's their number?
No, it's the
Freak is
Eagle.
dead.
The Eagle has
Eagle.
landed.
Go away,
Oh,
Kevin.
I thought he left.
Muted now. Damn.
Let's see here. Let me.
I got one
back
from
over to the
DFP.
group. Here we go. Yep.
Dear Hair Commandment of the Muffed Waffle. Muffed Waff? I don't know what it says. He says, Forrest Gump sucks.
Come on.
Oh, boy. There is no doubt Julie loves Forrest Gump.
Of course. It was a wonderful movie.
It is the most blatantly manipulative movie ever. It's so cheap. It's like a wrestler who comes out and talks about the people of this great city for a cheap pop. It's the cinematic equivalent of Hacksaw Jim Duggan. It's cinematic date rape. People who watch The Bachelor and see one movie a year think the running scene is brilliant cinema. Not only did Not only did it beat out Pulp Fiction for Best Picture, it also beat out The Shawshank Redemption. Most importantly, I want to hear the Film School Roast Twins' opinion on it.
Oh, no.
And he signs off with F. Forrest Gump
Was
from DFP.
Forrest Gump canceled? Like, was there a Me Too thing with Forrest Gump?
No.
Why do we hate him?
It's not that. It's just that it's a very paint by numbers basic movie, and people who like movies don't think it's a good movie, especially up against like
It's not cool
Shawshank
enough.
and what was the other one?
It's not
Goodfellas.
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction. Okay, but you know it's very.
Goodfellas lost to something crappy too.
That's right. We were talking about the other day. Is that
Trying to
the
remember.
pianist?
I don't know.
Pianist.
I'll look that up.
The English Patient. No, it's Forrest Gump is like a Disney movie for adults.
Yeah. And Disney movies are popular, I guess.
I got no
for a
problem with
reason.
it.
I feel like now that I've learned so much about life and people and
AIDS.
brain stuff, AIDS?
A big part of Forrest Gump.
Oh, really? Well, I was going to say, like, I'd love if he was tested, like, what diagnoses Forrest Gump would have.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely some stuff going on there.
Yeah.
I mean, we knew that, but...
And that would make his rushing title at Alabama that much more impressive. They were like,
Right.
we have a word for this.
Special needs.
Adam
Russian title.
weighs in regarding burqas. This was a topic last week.
Because the lady in my gym wearing
Yeah.
one? Yeah.
Dan saw a lady in his gym touring the gym with a burqa. I put forward the burqa's the full eye only. Hijab is just like your head and you can see your face.
Oh,
burqa's eyes only.
Okay.
And I told Dan, I was like, during COVID, TC had the idea. He was like, I've always liked the burqa because there's a lot of mystery. And his point was with COVID masks, he thought women got hotter because he could just let his imagination run wild. He's like, all I see is your pretty eyes. Adam says, I was doing a little gig work delivering for Amazon today. This is last week. I'm in a storage locker when this couple walks in to get their mail. This is at a fancy apartment complex in Plano. The dude is a decent-looking brown dude, beard, golf shirt, jeans, 6'2", has that half buff, half dad bod look. Wife is full black burqa, only eyes are visible, but they were having a conversation in English. She's got a slender frame and an athletic build. When I tell you she had one of the hottest voices I've ever heard, I'm not exaggerating. English with a hint of that Persian accent and a body that is a 10 under there.
Jeez.
I had to finish delivering and get out of there because I started to brick up.
Oh, my God.
Hell yeah, bro.
Anyways, there are exotic hots under those burqas with features you can only dream of. And I think I'm with him. Dan was like, what could they possibly just gross under there? And I think when you think about it, it's
you'd let it go, I think.
I don't think so, because I think those women, a lot of them are afraid of their husbands.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, I think if I
Kinda
got to
gotta
wear
keep
a burqa all the time, maybe I would just not go to the gym. Like, who cares?
Right.
I'm never
Nothing
allowed
to flatter.
to show this awesome bod.
So
Right.
your eyes are showing, but then everything else is, like,
everything. Like, and it's just
And so men enjoy fantasizing about what's under there.
Well, I
from
think the
what I'm
reason
gathering
in their
Delivery men?
in their culture, they do it because it's like my wife is only for me.
Yeah.
And our culture is not like that. But I'm saying if that's your culture, my wife is only for me, I doubt you're letting your wife, like, you obviously control her. I doubt you're letting her get like really out of shape.
Dude, I wish I could wear that.
Yeah, well, I think if you want to have a husband who can beat you if you mouth off.
Well,
like,
no, not that part of it, but I like the outfit. It's wonderful. It's like a muumuu or like a poncho that we wear and everyone makes fun of us.
It's so American to immediately be like, I could get fat in that. Both Dan and Julie were like, I know what I could do. Philip weighs in. Last week, we were talking about the concept of saying bless you.
Yeah.
Because Dan got chastised for not doubling up on a bless you because his wife sneezed twice.
She sneezed. I gave the bless you. She sneezed again like 5 seconds later.
Yeah, it's not just one bless you for the whole day.
I don't know. I feel like.
And if you're going to start analyzing it, like how much time has to pass before you say bless
He says
more
per
than
minute.
5 seconds.
I kind of feel like it's a. Is this an interaction? Like if I see you 2 hours from now at Fox,
what if
but
she
I've already
sneezed
said bless
again?
you, we're good.
2 hours from now? No.
Yeah,
you
but
need a
if
whole
I
new
see him
bless
later on at the strip club, then he does it. Then I'm like,
the thing is, I
bless
just
you.
don't believe in saying bless you to anybody.
Why? Just because the word bless and like all that.
No, I just like what is it? Why? What does it mean?
Christianity.
What am I doing? Do I got to do it for every time you make any noise?
You scared away spirits.
What if you cough?
So that's what
yeah.
that's what Philip weighed in about, is that Native Americans believe evil spirits are allowed in during a sneeze, like your defense system is down.
And how did they do?
And he
with
says,
this
once
belief?
I realized that, I stopped saying it.
Okay.
My wife got upset,
my
and I asked
God.
if she was worried about evil spirits. She looked confused. All the best.
It's just a
from
nice
Philip.
courtesy thing to do for somebody. We don't have to overanalyze it. The proper thing is a bless you, and then they sneeze again, and you bless you again, and then say there's a third sneeze. Oh wow, you really got it going today. That's how you interact with a sneezer. You have to say something if they sneeze 3 or 4 times in a row. Like you have to.
These are unwritten rules, though, and it's confusing to me. I got something from Jeremy.
Jeremy.
This was an email sent last June, June 28th,
Okay.
2024, where he says, no purpose to this email other than to tell you about an experience I had that I couldn't share with anyone else. It's in the same vein of 9/11 memorials in Mexican restaurant parking lots. He says, last weekend, went to the with the family and a few others to Splashway Water Park in Sheridan, Texas. Great place, fun time. But on Saturday, we're taking a break eating lunch under some shade, and I hear over the loudspeaker and across the entire water park to stand and gentlemen, remove your hats because the national anthem was about to be played. So as you can imagine, being a dumb F, I reacted in surprise and shock. My wife did not reciprocate my questioning, and my other friends promptly rose and removed their hats and stood at attention. People standing in line for water slides, food, and restrooms, etc., while the anthem played. Immediately following the anthem, none other than Lee Greenwood plays across the park. No puppet from Jeremy.
I just at a water park.
So that was last June.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I got an email yesterday. Says, hello, friends. Happy Business Wednesday. If you remember, last year around this time, I shared a story of a water park, blah, 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 blah. So he says, this time, I need to get some video evidence to share. I made it a point to be at my table before 1 p.m., gently guiding my children and group back to the table for lunch because, quote, I was hungry.
He's just setting up.
Enjoy the video or not from Jeremy, so we do have that.
Water park does look sick. I wonder how many of those type places there are out there that I just don't know about.
What, secret water park? Go ahead and fire that up
Outside of
anytime.
Oh, well.
This is a little crooked, but turn your head and we'll see it.
This is
so weird.
So everybody, they're wearing their bathing suits.
Is there a kid up at the top of the slide with his hands up on the top, like rocking back and forth, waiting to go?
Yeah, they're not running rides.
Hey,
Look, there's
stand
no
up,
one going
kid.
down the slide.
Hey, on your feet.
Well, what are you supposed to do?
Old Glory. Is that what we call the flag still, or is that like the old
Lifeguard's got
I
a...
think you're right.
lifeguard standing?
She has to do that every day.
Look,
Hey.
that lady can wear her hat. That is
Yeah, what
not
do you think
equality.
about that?
I thought we want equality.
She just is wearing a hat.
Yeah, but I don't get to wear a
If
hat.
I wear a hat, I'm
gotta take it off.
Al-Qaeda.
That's not true.
No one thinks
Clap,
it's odd.
clap. Everyone clap.
Also, that anthem was mid-AF.
So is somebody actually singing?
Hold on, let's see if Greenwood... I don't know. I assume it's a recording. Hold on. Thank you. Enjoy your 5% off.
And please hit the gift shop on your way out.
Is that Lee Greenwood? I don't know.
It sounded like that's
Amazing.
what was starting, but the slides were running again.
Is
Yeah,
that
that's
Proud
wild.
to be an American? What's the Lee Greenwood song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have an anchored phrase from Ryan. He says, falling in is usually only followed by love. What else do you fall in? Falling in.
Okay.
He says maybe into debt, but that's an into.
No, I
I
didn't.
don't know.
You don't really fall into debt. It's kind of a gradual, just decades long.
Yeah.
Fall in
That's
love
good.
implies like it's like, oh, like a quick, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Such a romantic.
Hit by the arrow.
Yeah.
And then I have a bad beat.
Ooh.
Been a while. But this comes from Sam, who is a fellow Halo fan, who asked me if I remembered the file share system from Halo 3. He says, I was in middle school when Halo 3 was at its peak, and me coming of age seeing this image or the billion others like it definitely helped me fire off a round or two.
Oh my God.
So somehow they were able to trace or shoot this curvy woman and add, I guess, a plasma gun to certain areas, and this worked for plenty of 12-year-olds out there.
I
can see it.
That's genius.
And Sam ends his email with phase up, who I'm with him now.
The clan?
Yep.
Do you want to hear Levi giving you some advice for the handoff?
Yeah.
Hello, fallopian philanthropist. As a fullback dive kind of guy, obviously I'm a huge fan of Run the Ball Blake and the handoff. Idea for the segment, call each one of Blake's thoughts first, second, and third down. But then no need for a fourth down because we punt on fourth down.
Well, we got to flip the field.
Yeah.
Duh.
Hidden yardage
Yeah.
for the field position game. That's really good.
Yeah.
That's
I do
really
have
good.
a gummy thought email, and this one could be brought to us by Early Bird CBD.
Our
which
good
is not,
friends.
Not your father's CBD, because it has THC in it. So if indeed you do get drug tested at work, number one, I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell your
number
boss is
two,
a dork. She's a dork.
you shouldn't take this Early Bird because it is THC. But to tell you the truth, that's kind of why we're really into it.
That's why it works. 2.5 milligrams natural THC. It's got 12.5 milligrams of the CBD in it. It's good stuff. Whether you're just trying to relax after a long day, you're going out on the weekend, whatever, man. Early Bird, it's not going to give you any sort of after effect. And we've been working with Early Bird for a while, which means we have a new promo code. If you use the previous promo code, how about 20% off with DZ20 at earlybirdcbd.com. I'm just going to say place an order. Place an order of size if you'd like.
You never know
And they get 20%
when you won't be able
off.
to place an order.
Yeah. So use the promo code
If
DZ20.
big government gets a hold of this thing.
Get it while it's hot. That's right. earlybirdcbd.com. Promo code DZ20. What's your thought, my friend?
Well, it's not mine. It's from Bailey.
Hot. I've said that. I stand
You
by
have.
that. It's male or female. That's a hot name.
Gummy thought related to the other day's discussion about how we're closer to 2050 than the year 2000. First of all, that was a really dumb point by me.
Because we're not through 25. Is that what you're saying?
No. Because the other day I said we're midway. I just read something on the internet, and I printed it and ran with it. And then we argued with Blake about it, both of us, because you're a good friend, so you're going to jump on my side and argue against this little idiot. But you're quite logical. You're right. How could we be? Because I said we're more than midway through 2025.
And he's like, well,
which
what?
means we're closer to 2050 than we are to the year 2000, which blows my mind.
Yeah.
Except, how could we be closer to 2025?
I took your word for it. I assume you're the guy who does
June
today in
5th
history.
or something. Like, yeah, it doesn't make sense. Like, we have to wait until July 1st.
Mm-hmm.
After July 1st, we will be closer to the end of the year, and then the end of the...
But is that true? Is July 1st
Yes.
the 180?
I did that.
Okay.
Or
I
July,
assumed
it might be July 2nd or something, but I didn't do it the other day.
I didn't think too much about it. But
I just read it.
Kind of assumed you did.
Right.
So
No, I got ball sacked.
That's fine.
Why did people put out just like totally erroneous information just so that I can look like a fool? Why? Otherwise, I wouldn't look like a fool. I'd look awesome.
You know what?
That's what people don't understand, how awesome I
was
could
going to
look.
show. This is
that.
This is viewer mail adjacent. My wife sent me this the other day. It's from
Boob pic?
her. No, it's from her family group chat.
Just one?
And
Just one boob. I know you like the right one.
That was weird.
Somebody sent. This appears to be a photo.
Another one waiting for you. Where this came from?
When you get home.
Like what you see. Go to GoDaddy.com to see the No, her aunt sent a photo. A photo, as you can see. I'm not going to put it on camera, but just of like the bottom corner of a magazine.
Excellent.
So, just in the bottom
Absolutely.
corner of a magazine, she's reading, takes a photo, and it just says, it's a do's and don'ts page.
Uh-huh.
Do outwit scam callers. And it's just got a little note here. Now scammers use artificial intelligence to trick us with, quote, voice cloning. Once a scammer, and it's just got like some tools here. So her aunt sends this to the group chat of 20 people, all women. And other aunt, it just says, hi, fam. I thought this was a good reminder. Never answer a spam call so AI can't clone your voice. Other aunt, good to know. The other one, I agree. It is mind-boggling what all they are capable of. Little caps. And it just made me think. They're always thinking about them.
Yeah.
What they're doing out there. I don't think about them at all. I don't know what they're doing.
That's a good way to live.
Just like there's a set of society that's just like, what are they up to?
Bro, AI is getting way better. Like, I think even a year ago.
Oh, that's a real thing, dude. I told you that happened to our buddy David Ruff that's circling back. Somebody used his sister's voice to call his parents and was like, I was in a horrible car accident. I need all this money.
That is so creepy.
It can happen, and guess what? It won't be hard for us.
Yeah.
Clone our voice.
There's a lot of your voice out there.
You're.
Yeah. They're going to get us.
But no, I mean, I even think a year ago they would have a fake Trump video or something. But you can kind of tell the mouth that,
Dude,
now they're perfect.
I saw one yesterday that legitimately freaked me out.
What
like
was
a Trump one that I actually was like, and with him it's a lot, it makes more sense, because when Mike McCarthy gets fired or Jerry, I know he's not like, well, he was up there with a goddamn motherfucking Perkins,
Right.
But with Trump, he was like saying things that definitely seemed
he could
feasible.
Maybe
Yeah.
he would say.
Yeah.
I feel like that was something everybody was so scared of for a while there.
Deep
like,
fakes.
Deep fakes. And
Yeah.
it was a big thing. We talked about it on the radio a lot.
Yeah.
And Taylor Swift, it happened to her and she got all mad, but I feel like I haven't seen a deep fake since.
It's kind of morphed into the AI thing. But they are also somewhat trying to legislate it.
Yeah,
for
maybe
whatever
they did.
It works.
Good job, legislators.
When's deep fake porn going to get going? With
Well,
Bobby
I'm sure it
Alpoff.
has.
or whoever.
Get going.
They've already
Really?
had to try to stop
Yay,
it.
Dave doesn't know something about porn. You're doing good.
She's not wrong.
Keep up the good work.
There you go.
He's getting so
I'm trying to
busy,
learn
he's not
more about
keeping up.
porn.
I'm proud of you.
Anyway, back to Bailey. Got me thought related to the other day's discussion about how we're closer to 2050 than 2000. In Back to the Future.
Whoa.
Marty went back in time 30 years, from 1985 to 1955. If the movie was set today, he would travel back to 1995. That does not feel the same.
No.
And I guess that's what we were talking about the other day, about how things kind of seem similar to the year 2000 from now.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, now seems more
Cars look the
similar
same.
to 2000 than 2000 to 75.
It's true. Well, the teens decade, I feel like, is a little bit of the forgotten decade. Like, I always forget that whole decade existed. I go from like 2003, 2007 to like now.
So it's not just because we're
I don't know
older and life is more the same for us. Like if you're 40 and you look back to when you were 30, that's probably some similar stuff. You know, if you're 40 and you look back to when you were 10, that's quite the world is quite different to you. But the 30 years of 85 to 55, just the stark difference in everything in life.
Yeah.
To where 30 years for, now.
So like
1995.
I don't know.
Still cars aren't.
Yeah, but everything is online. Like we don't have cash anymore.
That's
All of
why
your
I
bills
say
are
That's true.
online.
But
there would be a lot of.
I just think everything post internet, computer, maybe you say 05, or
Certainly,
iPhone era.
95 was still a transition to getting online.
But to me, I think the last 20 years have been, while huge progress, I feel like once we got to the iPhone, life changed, and it's been relatively the same since then.
Man, I don't know.
It's been lame.
I don't pull my card out anywhere anymore. I pay on my phone. All my banking is done on the phone. All my bills are on the phone.
Yeah, but the change from card to phone is, I feel like, smaller than cash to card. No? But maybe not. I just think, in general, like, kids' lives today, I think if you had a kid who was born today or a kid born 10 years ago, it's not that different.
Will they ever have cash?
No. Hoping not.
Probably not. Okay, how about this, though? Like, there can be a theme party for each decade. Back in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s even. And then you get here and we're all boring and the same. So Gummy thought, like 100 years from now, what are our theme parties going to be? Are they only going to live in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s and the 90s?
It's because of social media.
It's just sad.
Like you don't get as much of and things move
unless
faster
this
now.
phone stuff turns into a chip in your temple or something, and you will be looking back at this as, oh, look at everybody holding a phone and looking at it.
Right.
Or everybody's chipped in a while, and so the parties are pre-chipped. Like, let's pretend like we don't have a chip, and they're just all going crazy.
Or
oh, shit.
Will tattoos fade away, and then you'll look back at this era, and everybody's got tattoos. Like,
well,
I'm going to put on fake tattoos to pretend I'm in 2020.
I definitely think that there's a good chance that,
like tramp stamps.
Listen, there's a
pretty
pretty good chance that my kids, Julie's kids, are going to, in college or like in their 20s, go to like a COVID-themed party.
Oh, that's a good one.
They'll have masks.
That's actually a really
They'll probably have glory holes. Remember we were supposed to bone through glory holes? Like COVID will be a comedy. If you think 9/11 is funny now,
no.
How do you think? I'm just saying, COVID will be very funny in 20. It's funny now. It's funny now that they were like, change out the baseballs in the outfield. It's funny now that the president was like, shoot up bleach. I don't care.
MAGA hats.
That'll be that's TBD.
But a thing that shows you in the.
Yeah, it's just if there's like a large scale like
2020s.
Last time I commented on MAGA, we lost like 50 subscribers.
I'm not saying
saying
positive or negative. I'm saying in 100 years you want to.
Well, we don't know.
If you want to say now were you 100 years ago? That's 1925, right? So it's like, okay, I'll put on one of those derbies or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying that we don't know yet how that hat's going to be viewed.
Ah, okay. Could
100
be viewed
years.
very negatively, or
it may be that you're not allowed to view it negative.
Yeah, who knows?
Oh gosh.
Look at them, a race riot. Oh, a school shooting. That's
right?
Be
Are they gonna?
Easier? Yeah.
No.
Yeah, like maybe if guns are eradicated in 100 years, or
you
whatever,
bring a gun.
You're carrying your gun
like
around.
a fake gun.
Yeah, look, I'm carrying a gun.
Our guns are go-go boots.
Hell yeah. No, I like that. Yeah. Oh, you got an old one.
Y'all are just describing Demolition Man right now.
Best picture in 1991.
Demolition Man?
Oh yeah.
No, best picture in 1991. Just to follow up on something from earlier, was so Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Is it 91?
91 sounds right for Goodfellas.
Okay, so
Forrest
Goodfellas
Gump
was
would have
91. It was up against The Godfather 3, Ghost, Awakenings.
I don't know what that is.
Ghost was so funny.
Mm-hmm.
But the winner of the best picture, Goodfellas lost to Well, how many did I say? The Godfather, Ghost, Awakenings. That's 3. And 4.
Wow, Dances with Wolves.
Dances with Wolves.
They already won.
Of course, did win.
Top 5 day.
Good times.
Good times indeed.
Big things next.
Oh, okay.
The Dumb Zone.
Franco and Franco.
Is somebody in there? Sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Sir.
I don't know if I'm okay.
Can you get out for me?
I'm hurting. Let me get my phone. I gotta call somebody.
All right. Yeah, we're calling Ellie.
Before you call the insurance company, call Frankel first. Frankel and Frankel. Call 214 or 817 all threes.
All right, time for a quick fast facts. It's Thursday. A lot of things coming out for the summer menus. Taco Bell has got new chicken tacos and burritos. They saw the popularity of the nuggets. Now they're going strips. So you can get tacos and burritos with their new all-crispy chicken strips. McDonald's is unveiling the new Hershey S'mores McFlurry for the summer, starting June 10th. You can get that in participating locations. Chipotle announcing a new adobo ranch dip available at participating locations across the U.S. and Canada for all of our northern brethren. June 17th, check that out, adobo ranch. First time I think Chipotle's done a dip in a while, so get after that. And out of the pizza world, after a successful test in Las Vegas and North Carolina, Papa John's has officially launched a new cheddar crust pizza that will be available across locations in the U.S. this month. So get out there, try it, see what you like.
You're listening to The Dumb Zone.
What's the Constellation Club, Julie?
The Constellation Club. I've had some very serious high-level business meetings there. It's a cool spot in Las Colinas, high atop Las Colinas, 26th floor or something like that. So it's kind of one of those cool spots where you can go work, you can have lunch, you can have dinner.
You could have
There's
a podcast.
some private office space in there, and y'all are going to have a podcast there.
That's right. Next Friday from 3 to 6 p.m., a live remote. So we're changing up the time for the Constellation Club in Las Colinas. It's called The Towers at Williams Square. And they will have $2 wings, $2 tamales, and $1 drafts while we're there for a special broadcast Friday, June 20th.
Now, you know what wings are, right?
What are you saying?
You don't know what tamales are. That's what he's getting at.
Yeah, I mean, you had just learned
very familiar with tamales these days.
what tamales were.
Yeah.
So want to make sure you're good on wings.
I just don't think that everybody needs to make fun of me for everything. So yeah, join us out there, the Constellation Club. It's awesome. We had our Christmas holiday party there. Christmas, we call it Christmas.
Now we can say
I think
back.
we did
That's
it
back,
at the time.
right?
We did at the time.
I think it
yeah.
said on the invite Christmas party, right?
It
right.
did.
We demanded that.
Yeah.
Okay. We have a big announcement, and then we'll do news and today in history, and then we will have closing remarks with some folks that are here for our big announcement.
Our big announcement, Dan, is that we now have a studio sponsorship, a title.
Studio naming rights.
The
right?
naming rights.
Title sponsor. What do you call it when you build this place for the Mavericks to play and then you have the naming right? What do they do that?
I don't know. But
Enron Studio.
That's right.
So that's why we have
this
this black
cool.
thing up over this sign.
People are like, why'd you take everything down?
And this is why.
That's right.
We've been preparing for this moment.
I'm so excited.
In fact, your whole life you've been preparing for this moment. That is a sign, and that sign says Game Day Men's Health, and this is now called the Game Day Men's Health Studio.
Heck yeah.
This studio in downtown Dallas at the Fox 4 building is now owned by Game Day Men's Health.
That's
or
right.
The naming rights are owned by it. I don't know that anybody can just own the studio.
I took my first visit to Game Day Men's Health, the Grapevine location, on Monday. A little consultation. Got my first treatment.
Yeah?
Yeah, and I know you were locked into the finals last night, but so you weren't able to see this. They say results not typical. I threw two and a third scoreless last night for the Rangers.
Oh, really?
In relief, yeah, middle relief. But they, again, not typical, but week one for me, results are super positive.
How did we all miss that?
No, I'm actually very excited about
Because it was
this.
during a Rangers game.
Aw.
This is because we're old. Varying levels of old, but I'm trying to stay in shape. It's a big part of my life now.
Whoa, excuse me. Well, I
think I have a peptide for
certainly
burps.
not nearly old. Yeah, well, that's part of closing remarks. The question is, what is peptide? Because everybody tells me about peptides.
What
are
are
great.
peptide?
But Dave is sitting next to Julie over there. He's from the Grapevine location, and so he's going to get a little preferential treatment here because we've met Dave quite a few times. I actually went there twice so far because I went the day before the generic summer event for a little B12 shot, bro. Get you
Look,
through the weekend. You kind of feel it all week, too.
Everybody's talking about how great the event was, and the secret sauce was
Game Day Men's Health.
That's right.
Yeah. What do you have to say for yourself, Dave?
That's what we do.
Yeah.
We make that guy feel his absolute best. Put some pep in his step.
Okay. So do you mind having to sit through our show now for a little bit before we get a little more in-depth in closing remarks?
No, not at all.
That's what I was hoping your answer would be, because if he said, yes, I actually have to go now, that would have bothered me quite a bit. So, yeah, let's move on to the news, I suppose.
Here's Jake with the Dumb Zone News.
Let's make this brought to us by Frankel and Frankel. They are our personal injury attorneys. At 214 or 817, and then you dial all threes. They will fight those insurance companies for you. If you get in a car accident, they're kind of big with car accidents, right?
Yeah.
You get in a car accident. I mean, they don't cause them or anything, but they're good in helping you if you were in an accident and you have a personal injury. That's what it's all about. Personal injury lawyers. The Frankels are awesome. Big-time sponsor as well, so Frankel and Frankel.
Let's see here. A couple weather-related stories in Palo Pinto County. We had a storm, about 6 inches of rain, and the headline here is that about 10 people had to be rescued from flooding. We're talking like from on top of your house type situation.
Oh, okay. I was thinking,
Jeez.
You've seen them people out in the. Usually it's driving and.
Them people?
Well, just people, yeah, that it's like, hey, high water, don't drive here. And then they're like, yeah, I'm sure I could.
Right.
And then they get stuck in the middle of that.
Yeah, I've always been super conservative about that. Like if there's any type of water at all, I'm not messing with that.
That's smart.
But you would think in my
that.
general throw caution
trouble.
to the wind thing, but no, that's not what I'm playing with.
Yeah. Didn't Mike Ducey get stuck in a flood or something on this day? I think he might have been one of the 6 people.
Did he?
Yeah. He posted about being stuck in water and so glad he didn't try to go further or something.
Today?
No, a few days ago.
Oh.
I don't really fear. I guess I fear it if I don't drive into it, but I don't know that I've ever lived anywhere where I had to worry about the house flood. Like I don't know that we don't have flood insurance here, right? There's no way.
Oh dear, we're about to go down a rabbit hole.
Well, no, I mean I just assume we don't. But I have no idea. I've never feared the flood.
Oh.
Is that a thing in
Flood's
Ohio?
gonna come back and get you just for saying that.
Not at all.
No, I don't think I lived anywhere with that as a concern. Where's this? Palo Pinto?
Palo
Where's
Pinto
that?
County. What?
South, north, west?
West.
It could be anywhere.
It's west, but I couldn't remember if it was west and north or west and south.
By Possum Kingdom State Park.
Okay.
Mineral Wells area.
I know that place.
Do you think the water had anything to do with your delays this morning?
Like I said, it's probably more of the House bill trying to cut the cost, but yeah, maybe.
You know, we really need the rain.
Oh, that's run the ball guy for sure.
I told you I mowed on Sunday, and I've just been watching with glee every day as it's rained. Starting to green up.
Is it late in the year for this?
All this rain?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Seems like it.
Are we
Seems like the
going to
past-
be in a flood year? Because we live across the street from Grapevine Lake, and so sometimes our neighbors' backyards are the lake, and sometimes you can walk across that to Bob Jones Park.
It seems like we should be in day like 42 of no rain. That's typically the time.
Yeah.
June and July.
Blake, Gunter, Texas.
None of us have any idea what we're talking about.
Eagles?
I do.
Is it Eagles?
Are we
That's my
drought
guess.
season?
Where is
What's
Gunter?
happening?
Off the top of my head, I don't know.
Well, at a golf course in Gunter, it's around here, North Texas somewhere.
Oh, okay. North of Salina.
Two men were playing golf during big weather. They were both struck by lightning.
Both of them?
One killed, one injured. This was Sunday.
How are they playing?
It doesn't matter.
You know,
They
there's
didn't
no
finish the
note.
round.
There's no note on how hot they were in the round, or on whether or not they were getting it up and down before they were laid down by
They both got hit?
God's electricity.
If
they
I'm on pace
they
to
both
break
got
80,
hit.
I'm continuing to play.
It was
like
a father.
What do you mean? After you get struck by lightning, you can't continue.
No, I mean
to play.
that's why you're out there
father
still
and
playing.
son.
Oh, you would not.
The son, 40, passed away. In this scenario, Blake's scenario, the dad, who's in his 70s, looking down at his smoldering son, is like, I'm playing pretty well.
Well, he might be looking at his
I'm gonna card
scorecard
this
saying,
round.
I have a chance to shoot my age. We have to keep playing.
Yeah, you never think you're going to get struck by lightning. In Blake's defense, right? You never think you're going to be the person.
I'm just happy
that
we've
gets
made it
struck
this
by
far
lightning.
without Dan victim blaming, because they were playing golf during a lightning storm.
That's back.
You do seem to, you're holding a rod.
Right.
It's
Like, don't we complain about delays for football games or whatever because of lightning? Like, it's,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's something to that. But golf, though, you're actually holding
Not smart.
a piece of metal.
Holding a piece of metal.
You're asking for it.
Had to check
That's a
in.
sad story, Jake.
Do you have a plane crash story?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to do it now, or do you want to close?
Was this
with
sent
it?
to you
No.
once or twice?
I had a story sent to me literally a million times, but I just wanted to make sure you had it.
We will do the.
Okay, sorry. I shouldn't have questioned your integrity as a newsman.
You're fine. It's a story that will be done today. Another quick one here locally. Have I told you guys before? I know I've told Blake because I invited him that my wife's family, one of my wife's many families, they own like miniature horses and miniature donkeys.
What?
That you can get your pictures taken with.
Why did you invite Blake and not me?
It was at the
you
sto-
haven't told us.
It's at the stock show.
Okay.
They have a booth at the stock show every year. They've done it for like 30 years.
Yeah.
And they used to travel around. Carnies is what you used to call these folk. But they still own like little donkeys and little
Oh my
horses.
gosh.
And they live in Richland Hills. And I saw a story this morning that there was a miniature donkey and a miniature horse loose in Richland Hills. So I had to check in. And to let you know a little something about Richland Hills, which is not like a farm area. There's just some areas where people own horses in the suburbs. It wasn't her family's miniature horses.
Wow.
A competitor.
So immediately you thought it was.
Well, yeah, and then she's like, "Nah,
How many
remember
people
there's just a bunch of people over there who have like a half-acre lot, and it's just got like three.
Is it because-
busted? There's 3 busted cars in the front yard, and 2 miniature horses in the backyard. A lot of code violation going on.
Well, that's the problem with growth, right? Because it did used to be a field out there.
100%. When they owned that, yes, all the houses like that in Richland Hills, North Richland Hills that I know, they were there first.
That's
And
right.
they
We
just-
got a neighborhood full of horses and
Yeah.
this and that.
What, Julie?
Why is that funny?
It was just a funny sentence. That's how we got a neighborhood full of horses.
Well, it was all a field. at
Yeah, it
one
was.
point.
That's why there's coyotes running around my neighborhood still.
Oh,
They took
yeah.
their home.
You're dealing with that.
There was one walking down my street the other day. I wasn't there, but the group text was blowing
Oh,
up.
my God.
Was he like
mom group text?
Was he setting like a trap? From Acme.
Right. Did he have a big anvil?
See, I knew Julie would love that guy.
Thank you.
that joke.
Sure.
That's why she's not here all the time.
Because that would just encourage me.
Because you're better than that.
No, he's not.
Well, the the story in question for Dan today is regarding a plane crash. Air India. There were more than 240 people on board this plane, headed from India to London. It crashed, and all but one passenger perished.
Dan's dream.
There's
the new dream is 2, right? With a hot.
Yeah, because in your
If
link,
it's 2 with a hot, that'd be okay. Not for her. She'd be like, oh, God.
This guy.
When's this guy going to die? I'm like, not as soon as you think with this men's
I know, but
game day men's health, my lady.
I'll be nice. But
That's right.
Although it would be tough, though, like in this scenario, it's always like you and then a hot. But what if you survive a plane crash and it's like you and Susan Boyle? She's going to feel entitled to some of the fruits of your game day men's health because you two survived the crash together. And
Yeah.
Now you're in a pickle.
No, there are problems with all of these things.
Yeah, so one guy survived. He was seated in was it A11?
Yeah.
The diagram that they're showing. So he's like front window.
Ooh,
if
window?
you care. Yeah.
Okay, so that's where we need to
I do
sit?
care, no, because I usually go aisle.
Investigation underway. There is a video of it. Like you can see a huge fireball in the crash, but
my gosh.
nothing from inside.
So did he land on an island or anything, and now he's still out there trying to survive? Or?
No, they there's photos of him. I mean,
These things have to end on an island.
No, it's just in India. It's
Yeah. Well,
the vast, expanse of the Indian countryside, but he's just walking.
Okay.
Just kind of chilling.
Can we have him on? I mean, not that I'm a producer or even.
Does he
here every
speak
day,
Native
but-
American?
Yeah, I would love to hear his story.
No, Dan. Again, he is
but we gotta give him
he is an Indian, so not like Cherokee, Navajo,
figure this
Seminole.
out,
He
though.
is
We could
from
work through it.
India.
We could translate.
Well, don't they speak Indian there?
Again, different type of Indian.
Oh dear.
Different type of Indian. What's this thing Philip Kingston sent us? I've been like ignoring these protest stories.
Oh.
Which thing? Is it the thing he tweeted to us?
Well, he sent us that
That I said.
there's all
this
these
bit?
like anti-Trump or anti-immigration or whatever rallies taking place. And there's one that he sent us taking place in Dallas this Saturday. It's part of these No Kings.
Oh, okay. So that's what he's. I didn't know what it was about.
Yeah.
He just sent us a thing that.
Yeah.
Paula Poundstone will
Whoa,
be there.
you mother effer! I was gonna read the whole flyer.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
So
Did I just ruined the whole bit?
Better than that.
They have like 5 names on here of
You're
which
like,
you've
what's-
never heard of. It's like you can see Shelley Skeen of Lambda Legal or Kelly Hart from Planned Parenthood. All these names, and then headlined by Paula Poundstone, the comedian.
It's like a concert.
Paula Poundstone, comedian who diddled a child.
Uh-oh.
So if you're looking for someone to help support your causes, that's actually the first question Game Day Men's Health asked us to make sure we were good to go. We said no.
No child diddle?
No. None on
Let's
record.
see.
Paula Poundstone.
Wasn't she on like.
She like adopted a kid and wasn't she on what? The main stage of comedy?
On Big Dick's Wild Ass Circus. Like, I thought she was like kind of like one of the mainstays.
For real?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I swear to God.
Is that her real last name?
You want to get Ty Walker on the.
Can't be.
He's probably
No, her
listening.
kid's name was Stone.
Don't, dude. Thank you. Dave, too, from Game Day loves that one.
These guys love it.
Dave too.
They love it.
Pound Stone. Anyways, yeah, do you think should we send Henry?
to this event.
Like, why is Paula Poundstone
Let's
showing
send
up
someone
in
that's not
Dallas
us.
to talk to us about politics?
There's a lot there. I think you should.
I feel like her. There's no like bad part on her
No, dude, I'm telling you.
Wikipedia page.
Did she have it scrubbed?
Charged with felony child endangerment.
That might have been the part.
Well, that's driving while intoxicated with her children in the car.
Dude, I'm telling you, there's something where she had adopted
You like
a
that?
child.
Charged with 3 counts of lewd acts upon a girl younger than 14.
Oh, goodness gracious.
She's a predatory lesbian who had some funny jokes, at least as I remember.
Did she have funny jokes?
And now
No.
this is like
No, they're
part of
terrible.
Her tour or something, going to the protest and like what?
I guess she's just
What's she
speaking out.
doing?
She's speaking out. She's raising awareness.
Okay,
Doing
she's not going to do a set.
whatever.
Hmm.
Let's see. Is
She
there anything
denies
else?
it.
Did she?
She said, "I was an alcoholic, though."
Oh,
So she's trying to use
I'll
that.
claim that.
Went to rehab.
Yeah.
It's an interesting play.
She's a voice in Inside Out too.
What? She's doing kids movies? That seems weird.
Yeah, I would say that
does.
seems a little bit weird. I would say that seems a little bit weird. That's pretty much it for today, Dan. Let's wrap up though.
The Dumb Zone News. Like and subscribe.
So we'll do some Today in History brought to us by Underdog Fantasy.
Ooh.
I made a play on Underdog Fantasy last night. I don't think it worked out well. I keep getting the exact one wrong.
But the point is,
I'm
you
gonna
had
get it right.
fun.
Oh, I did. No, I've hit quite a few of these, but not last night in particular.
Underdog is it's cool. It's just a basic.
You could do live during the game too.
You definitely could do
Which
live.
I did, yeah.
Pick your higher, your lower. You pick a player from each team. You can do it for multiple players for each team. You can do it for, like Dan said, live games. I've been doing a lot of Rangers games, and it's fun. You just pick high. Pitching?
Yeah.
He's been pitching.
I've been
himself.
pitching.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I took
You bet on
the
yourself?
lowers on myself.
You can also do NFL futures.
NFL futures are
Ooh,
live.
nice.
Tasty. And they are going to hook the Dumb Zone listener up right now. Download the Underdog app and sign up with promo code DUMBZONE. That'll unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash, Dan, when you make your first deposit. That is promo code DUMBZONE. Here we go. Fast talk. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama or Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. And have fun. That part's
Oh, I
not-
won.
Did you just hit?
Yeah, I thought I went opposite on it. Yeah, I went higher on Halliburton
Oh, and your lower SGA?
and lower SGA, and yeah.
How was Halliburton's points 16.5?
I know, bro.
Free
They're just
money.
they're asking you to log in and just win.
Get in there. Promo
That's
code's DUMBZONE.
how great it is. See that?
Very
Did you
exciting.
see it?
I think all that was okay.
Dumb Zone presents Today
Very,
in
very difficult to
History.
I have some viewer mail birthdays to start.
God, that sign kicks ass.
It's so cool. It's so hot.
Makes me want to lift. I'm serious.
It's working. Whatever.
Ty
you
Walker
got,
informs
working.
me that Paula Poundstone not a regular on the Wild Ass Circus.
Don't besmirch the whack by including
know,
Paula
Ty.
Poundstone.
I swear she was on though.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be down to have her on. Train wreck.
I don't think y'all could handle that.
Let's book her. We'll
tamed-
talk about
I
the
tamed
thing. What are
Kevin
they? What's she in
Farley.
town for?
Some yell about how we don't want to have a king.
The protest. Surely you've heard about them. No.
No, I think he just told us about him, but I wasn't really listening.
It's all good. That's why I usually don't do those stories. It's totally fine.
Hello, South Lake Snatch Skipper.
Oh.
There's a
Dave-
whole thing where he reads names. I
Yeah,
promise
this is where it's a
we're good
little
people. It's don't get weirded out, please.
They're going to be fine.
I think so. I feel good about it.
Day one subscriber here, number 411. I want to say happy Troy Polamalu birthday to my older brother, Abrar, a fellow subscriber. Jake may remember me as one of the dudes on the IJB Doc podcast, as well as the one dude who used the IJB promo code for Stars tickets, and Jake promised to buy me a drink. Gosh, this guy has a long email here. Anyway.
That's a large man. I've met him.
Watch for my new jihadist ice cream, coconut flavor Coco Haram.
Okay, that's really good. Boko Haram is a nice separatist terror group.
More Julie and Sarah on the same show.
Oh.
From Naveed Sarmast.
Wild.
You don't know what Sarah will try to get you into, though.
I don't know. I don't know. You'll tell.
Anyway, dear
bring her
Dan, I would like to
pillows,
wish
I know
happy
that.
belated birthday to my older brother and sports
bro.
leader, DF Nick in Chicago. He just had his Alex Goligoski birthday.
Good Lord, what a reach.
33?
33, okay.
That's
That
right.
puts him
I've
in
got-
his Jesus
got
year.
that jersey.
He's the one that got me listening to The Ticket years ago, then showed me to the Dumb Zone after you guys got fired.
Hey.
Did we get fired?
No.
For that, I think if we got fired, we would get some kind of a compensation from that afterwards.
I only got fired once, and it was by Tony's Pizza.
Why?
Because I went to Warped Tour instead of coming in for my shift. When I told him the week before, Tony, I will not be here Saturday. And he's like, then you're fired.
The actual Tony.
Your priorities are out of
Wow.
whack.
It's still in business. Roof Snow.
In honor of his birthday, Dan, please name the manager of the San Diego Padres. That's, of course, Mike Schilt. He hasn't changed. Others have changed, and I can't do the bit.
That's okay. How'd you even know that he was still there, though? You knew that? It's good.
Well, I'm pretty sure I guess I would have heard if he got fired. Are you familiar with Mike Schilt?
No.
Former Cardinals skipper. Anyway, that's from Chris in L.A. Dear Front Butt Fuhrer, happy Gilbert Arenas birthday to my nephew Hank. I bought him a Fisher-Price ping pong table.
0?
So he could be the first overall pick of the 2046
Surely not
NFL
that
draft.
number.
Congrats.
Okay, bought him a ping pong table to prep him for the
Right.
NFL.
For shoddy.
His dad's leader is Steve Noviello. His leaders are Blake's surprisingly not racist Andrew Yang impression, the weight clause in Hot Girl Jordan's prenup, and Jake's love for team dinners. F. Nico, Free Luigi from Clayton.
Free Luigi.
Do you think he's hot?
Luigi from Mario and Luigi?
Nah, Luigi from Socialist Revolution.
Killing CEO Luigi.
Luigi Mangione.
I don't know enough to speak to if he's hot or not.
How about a
what?
I need
How
to
have
see
you
a
not heard
picture.
it? That's a big thing.
I don't know.
It's like a
How do you not know
nationwide
there's
manhunt.
protest down the street?
Well, you didn't.
She's got you there.
Until Jake said it.
Boy, I would sign up to sit courtside for a how do you not know that between Julie and Dan as they just go back and forth, stunning each other in gaps of knowledge.
That's actually a current trend.
What?
The calling your friend goodnight, that was 3 weeks ago. But the thing now is having your partner sit in front of a TV and explain what's on the TV.
Okay.
So
I
you
like
could,
it.
You could be hip.
TikTok Blake.
How about a weight clause in your prenup?
I mean, I think that's okay to do to him.
Okay.
No problem for me with game day men's health.
That's right.
Sit him up, I'll knock him out.
How do you not know what CFNM is?
What?
See?
CFNM? I don't know. Is I just want to know if Luigi's hot. I really thought you were asking me about the cartoon character, and I was thinking.
Nah,
I was
he's a
trying
piece.
to give
He's
you
a
an answer.
piece. Luigi Mangione's an
Okay.
He's hot.
Yeah, sort of sounds familiar. Sounds like someone who's hot.
Dan,
Got a
my
hot name.
39th birthday was yesterday. Day one subby of the Dumb Zone. My leader is Dan and Jake telling Blake that somehow the year could be half over on June 8th because months have different days.
I'm a good teammate.
Yeah, February's the short month, right?
Yeah.
And that's in there.
That was my point.
So,
Oh.
your point is that it's, yeah, that's a great point.
But I want to do something here. I want to dissect and still make him look like an idiot. That was not a good point. Just because February is a couple days shorter, the problem is we're in June.
Yeah, but it moves the line.
Yes.
It moves the line back,
but
not
like
forward.
Yeah, but like it's a point, but the much bigger point is you should have just said, yeah, but it's still June.
Like there's no way.
There's
February.
no
But you
way.
brought it up. You were like, the math is off because of February.
Right, but it was the other way.
It was the
anyway,
other way.
This is from Jeremy Edwards, who says, my claim to fame is I'm the one who told Jake about the car tray in a tweet in October 2017.
I believe it.
That he turned you on to the car tray. We have a picture of that tweet right there.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Steering
That's almost
wheel
10
tray.
years ago.
I love that he forgot the L. We is a great word.
He said the steering wheel tray is an absolute must for team eating your car. And then Jake acquired one, and
I got 2 in my car right now.
The legend grows.
The whole revolution.
It's so good. If you don't want to eat on it, you need one to work. You
Yeah.
need one to work. They're $10.
Doesn't she hit her head on the bottom of it?
It can be an issue.
Oh, God.
That's just a little fun here, Julie. Hey, Dan, I hope this email finds you well. I want to wish my good friend Matt Brown from Flower Mound a happy birthday.
It's funny.
Wait, what is today? Is it the 11th or 12th?
It's 12.
This says the 12th. Good. Matt is a day one, number 142. His leaders are Mike Soroy's Glow Up and Don Nelson's Chain.
Mike Soroy's Glow Up.
From fellow D1 DF, Josh from Oklahoma City.
Okay, if I started wearing just like the smallest little chain, no chance?
I don't think so.
Honestly, I thought about it when I saw Donnie.
Just be chain guy?
Not a big one, but like I have friends who dress like me and that they just wear like a plain shirt. And they just have like a small necklace or small chain. My dad
cool.
always had one.
It's cool for the kids right now. Like the 10 to 14-year-old boys are
I see it.
wearing chains.
I tried.
I feel like you definitely did.
As like a
Start
14,
wearing
13-year-old. Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I'll try the chain. Maybe I'm a chain guy.
Yeah.
I think I had a ring for a bit. And
awesome.
A pager.
I had
Although you were like functionally using a
my
pager.
wedding ring. No, I never did a pager. My wedding
I had a
ring, though, lasted like 2 days.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't wear
can't
this.
do it.
I'm not getting
So
any tail
romantic.
anymore. I have
I
to
know.
take this off, honey.
I know. No, actually, I think that works the other way. Julie knows that. The
That
wedding
girls
rings
are attracted to guys with wedding rings?
At a certain age,
Okay.
yes, 100%.
Other guys, not your husband, with a wedding ring. You're saying that's attractive?
What if I start wearing them now? Like now I'm thinking
I'm asking, is that what you're saying?
I'm saying 100% women at this age, when you're like 35 older, I feel like women, if you were to go out and not have a woman with you and you have a wedding ring on, they are more interested.
Is it because they
It's
know
because they want to
that
wreck your home.
Jeez.
Oh, I thought it was because they know that you
True
won't want to.
at all.
I don't
like
know.
you
I
just
don't
want
know.
to party.
Yeah, maybe that's
Like
it.
he doesn't want to deal with me later. Which
The
is great.
replies are going to support me on this.
Dear
Comments.
P-Man, I celebrate my
What a
Jake.
give up.
They probably didn't. Dan did.
That's true.
My Jake Ottinger birthday.
29.
So I figured I'd send this email the day after in case I didn't make it through the night.
Yeah, I was going to say, what does that mean? You get to have a 2 hours of your birthday day and then it's over?
No.
And then someone ruins it for you?
My leaders are every blood
You want to
member of
weigh
the
in on the
Beehive.
stars?
There's a lot there.
There is.
My leaders are every blood member of the Beehive and Jake's shitty AI songs that he forces into the show.
Ooh, burn.
Been like 2.
How do you like that?
I got a game and it's so shitty.
You have a game day song?
Yeah, it's terrible.
And John, that's from John Carly.
I'm obsessed with bad AI songs, yes.
So it's Thursday, June 12th. We do some On This Day now in 1942. Anne Frank? Want to keep laughing? Over there? A German-born Jewish girl living
Stop
in
staring
Amsterdam
at me.
received a diary for her 13th birthday. A month later, her and her family went into hiding from the Nazis. On this day in
Stay tuned
1952,
to find out what happens later in the
I was
year.
going to say, we handled that well until that.
in Bonham, Texas,
I mean, it's down near like Aggie Land, right? But
no, I think it's up by Sherman.
Oh, I'm thinking of Brenham. Yeah, there you go.
Don't know it. I should.
Anyway, here it says a tabby cat. This is 1952. A cat named Dusty. Is Dusty a hot name?
It definitely can be.
Yeah.
No.
Set a Guinness World Record by producing 420 kittens during her breeding life.
Whoa!
Oh, my God.
She gave birth to her last litter, which was a single kitten, on this day in 1952.
Okay, I found this on the web. Siri record.
What's Siri saying?
Who is that? Me or
Who's searching that?
That Henry.
No, my phone just picked up on you saying something that sounded like Siri.
Oh.
400? That's
Siri,
incredible.
what is NS? Or wait. On this day in 1987, President Ronald Reagan to
We're just going to stop there? We're not going to talk about the cat?
Yeah, I'm looking into the cat.
What should I say about it?
The first
429.
I found a tweet about
The
it.
cat loved to F.
From the Guinness World Records. The first comment on the tweet is, "That's one prolific pussy."
Oh, gosh. I was thinking there's got to be a
You wanted
joke in
more.
there somewhere.
You are the one who wanted more.
I just think it's funny that this cat had bits and got to 420, like 420, and was like,
Yeah, bro.
Bro, I
okay,
had 420
like,
cats, dog.
I feel like we need to put a pin in this because I want to talk about it more in long form. Talk about this later. I know Dan's on the move. And we've
How
got
about on the
stuff
mom
to do.
game?
Jeez, dude. I think I'm with you. I'm
Let's
pretty
do a
interested.
half hour on the. Okay, go
I want to
ahead.
see images.
Go ahead.
Photos,
What do you mean, go ahead?
videos.
No, I mean, what else do you want?
Like, well, I'm embarrassed too in front of our new friends. But like, how many times do you think they had to do it to make that many kittens?
Yeah, like what
because
was
you
the
have a
breakdown?
litter. I mean, a litter's what, like 3 to 6?
That seems low. But I'm trying
You
to
have 10 in a
investigate
litter.
this right
See,
now.
you're with me. You can't just drop.
But you
this
could just let
crazy
him
cat
move on.
stat and
Read
just
the other.
keep going.
You just let him read he reads old stuff that happens because it makes him. It's like that show. What's it called? Stranger Things.
I like this segment a lot.
And while he does that, I'll look this up
Okay,
and we'll jump
all
it
right.
back. It's called The Weave.
Teamwork. Okay. Jake's gonna do some research while you talk about your old stuff.
And his
Well, that's what history is. It's old stuff. History is very rarely something.
and while you
that's
do your
next week.
silly little segment, he's going to research how many times did this cat have sex.
Yeah, let me do something important over
We're
here.
gonna lose the sponsorship on day one.
But yeah, continue on with this day in history or whatever.
Anyway, Reagan said, "Tear down this wall." Is
Yeah,
Why are you on the videos tab of the Google search?
I'm not.
On this day, in a still unsolved murder, Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman were slashed to death outside her Los Angeles home.
Well, the only man that could solve it has left us.
Yeah, you wrote a book though.
On this day,
Oh, you're talking OJ.
in 2011, the Dallas Mavericks win their first NBA title, winning Game 6 of the
Yay.
finals. 105-95. Jason Terry scores 27. Dirk scores 21.
What a time.
What a time. Remember the
Good time to
Mavs?
be alive.
How do you do it? Why? Why?
Don't think about it.
I have to think about it. And one famous wedding on this date for Blake
Aw.
in 1999 when David Arquette
Courtney Cox
married Courtney Cox. Blake loves Friends.
What a special day.
Did you know Blake is stoked on
I
Friends?
don't think I knew that
Yeah.
about Blake, but I like it. Friends is wonderful.
It is. It's a great show.
You're a Monica guy?
So wait,
no,
you like
there's-
Friends and Forrest Gump? No way.
Yeah.
That's right.
Practical
What a Venn diagram.
Jokers, King of Queens.
Hey, here's this
It all makes sense.
Nickelback album you let me borrow.
Other birthdays today include a Kemp spin, Marv Albert, 84.
Yeah.
That's a pretty...
That's like
Kemp.
on Mount Rushmore.
Antoine Jameson is 49.
I always thought it was funny, like, you know how Norm wasn't in that many sketches?
Norm MacDonald?
Yeah.
Or Norm Hitch? Yeah, go ahead.
Like, overall, just you could tell the Weekend Update guys don't do a lot of sketches, but when he did, it was almost always impressions, and they were kind of shitty. Like, he wasn't an impressions guy. And just the fact that they would get him to do Marv That's all. I would just go back to school on Monday just doing Norm as Marv. I thought she was a pizza. Yes.
How many of your friends understood what you were doing?
I made them understand.
Did you ever watch?
I would memorize the entire Saturday Night Live and then do it on the sidelines the whole week during practice.
That's amazing.
Are you familiar with Chris Elliott on the David Letterman show?
Wasn't playing a lot.
Right.
The gross guy, like the.
You know Chris Elliott or no?
Yeah, I think so. Not the musician.
Anyway, this
right?
is pre me being.
Yeah, this guy. Yeah.
Old enough, I guess, to even watch the David. Stay up that late. But as my kid was growing up and we'd watch YouTube videos together, we watched all the Marv Alberts on David Letterman, which were really fun.
Yeah. I remember the one right after everything happened was great.
Well, ours was more about before that because he would show bloopers and like it was cool. And then Chris Elliott would come on with his fake Marv Albert. And he's got like 3 or 4 of those he ever did. And that's a fun ride. I would advise you take that. Drew Holiday is 35.
Ring.
Dallas Clark is 46.
Retire his number.
Jake wants to put in the Hall of Fame.
Hideki Matsui is 48.
They just drafted another white tight end, right? He's going to wear
Penn State guy.
44. Hideki
Matsui.
Yeah. Scott Thompson is 66. He was on Kids in the Hall and the Larry Sanders Show. Kendra Wilkinson is 40.
Hank Basket.
Mm-hmm.
Hank Basket's
And
ex.
Hugh Hefner.
Hugh Hefner. She caught Hank Basket with a trans person. Or
really?
something.
Yikes.
Of that nature.
Oh, you're transphobic, huh? Okay.
No, I mean, you can catch anyone with anyone, and I'd probably say yikes if you're married to him.
Oh,
How was
yeah.
that?
Square.
That's a great one. Dave Franco is 40. That is James Franco's brother.
Calm down,
Soccer.
Greg. Soccer.
Paul Schultz is 63. He is the priest in The Sopranos. Jason Mewes is 51. He was in Clerks, which I've never seen.
Yeah, I kind of skipped that whole.
Jay and Silent Bob, which I've never seen.
I skipped all that.
But I will get people yelling at me about it.
The problem with Jay and Silent Bob is I feel like you group The Big Lebowski in with it. Like as the same sort of like stonery.
And you think I shouldn't put The Big Lebowski? Because the same people tell me I got to watch both of them.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't know how anybody here feels, but The Big Lebowski to me is a far superior product to anything like Kevin Smith or Clerks or Mallrats. All that stuff was corny to me.
Yeah, that should never be put in the same category.
But it's just kind of stonery, so people, but I don't know. Big Lebowski's a great movie. I'm getting more upset every time we talk about this.
We're going to have to hook up with a theater and go see it.
Julie?
Yeah? Hey,
we can't just go see a movie without it.
Dave, do you guys own any movie theaters?
And our birthday of the day for the show is Vicky Vett is 60. That is a adult film star, not just like
my guess.
Not just an actress.
Mm-hmm.
How would I know her?
Is she
I don't
like
know.
a star in
I just had to have a
your
birthday
eyes,
of the
or is
day,
she
and
a
I couldn't
star?
find one that I liked. Like, what do you want me to do? Use the guy from Jay and Silent Bob? Dave Franco? That didn't seem good. Like he
Kind of a
knows-
give up.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Born on this Day Now Dead. H.W. George
41.
Bush.
Wait, do you have one or not? You want to give Henry one more day?
I feel like today you have to, since you didn't really have a
Oh,
birthday
Henry
of the day.
birthday of the day.
But he's off mic, though.
Although
we can throw him on a mic.
Although yesterday he forgot the professor. Which I feel like you just didn't say it.
That's worse. You should definitely lie and say you forgot. If you knew that it was the professor's birthday and you kept him off the list, we might be done here.
This might be your
Redeem
last,
yourself.
Might be your last day.
So Henry's supposed to come up. He's the young hip dude. He's supposed to come up with a young hip birthday, and he didn't have the professor.
Correct.
On Tuesday.
And
what's your excuse on that?
I just chose someone else, honestly.
The truth is,
I thought he chose somebody really crappy.
He doesn't know who the professor is.
What, the Jeff Teague one? That was crappy. That's
No,
not
you
that
went with Bill Burr first.
Let's just get a birthday.
yeah, you're right.
What do you got?
I'm sorry.
Are you like now looking it up?
No, I
right.
have it on the screen, but I did this earlier this morning.
What do we got?
We'll go with Don Toliver today. He's just a really big rapper from Houston.
I do know who Don Toliver is.
Yeah.
He makes good music. I listen to him.
Is he
fairly
Bun
often.
B?
Say again?
Is he Bun B?
No.
I thought you said he's a rapper from Houston.
He's Bun B. Sure.
Okay.
Yes, he's Bun B.
Sure. Yeah, he's Bun. He's Bun B.
Actually, somebody else.
It's Bun B.
Also born on this day now dead, Jim Neighbors, who was Gomer Pyle in the Andy Griffith Show.
Oh, we still have Henry's Gomer or Andy Griffith report coming, don't we? Or Leave It to Beaver.
Mm-hmm.
Leave It to Beaver. Andy Griffith is just a solid show. Leave It to Beaver, I don't know if it is, but also...
Dan.
What?
They're no different.
You don't think?
It's.
You think?
I've probably always thought they were the same show.
Okay. Well, then Big Lebowski is probably just like Jay and Silent
That's
Bob.
not
The
a-
point is, you don't know until you try them both. You ever hear... You know who Gomer Pyle is or no?
So Henry should watch the Andy Griffith Show?
Nah. Anyway, let's go to Dead on the Stay Still Dead. We have Jerry West.
The logo.
Died 1 year ago today. And died on this day in 2012. Henry Hill. The real Henry Hill.
Friend of the Bad Radio program.
Do you know who he is?
Dude, you're driving your car, you're looking up overhead, you got the helicopters coming. It's Goodfellas, bro.
Oh, the real life Goodfella?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the guy that Ray Liotta was playing.
Oh, okay.
I think at one point early on in my producer career, I was like a little...
Like, should we have Henry
I almost
Hill
said a bad word.
Since he was real.
About myself. Yeah. I'm like, how did you guys have a guy's like a murderer?
He's an actual murderer.
Like he's an actual guy who's had like bodies on the ledger, and they're like, "Can you do a liner?"
Well, you've had to do things for work that weren't.
I know, and in hindsight, I'm like, that was gay. Like he's
good movie.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Let him be. He is a murderer though. But
So now we are at the
Famous one.
portion of the program that we like to call closing remarks, and it's brought to us by Game Day Men's Health.
Hey, live from the Game Day Men's Health
Let's hear the
Studio.
tune.
Dude, I don't.
Is
come
that
on.
bad?
It's. Why don't you guys just start talking and all?
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna like lead into it with that.
It's just a shitty AI song.
Anyway, these are the guys from Game Day Men's Health.
Maybe we'll end with it.
Dave, this particular Dave is from the Grapevine location.
My home base.
Yeah, I've been there a couple times, so I've been there more than Jake. That's what I'm trying to say.
A competition. I like it.
How many locations?
He tried it.
I tried.
He tried.
Thank you for finishing your sentence.
My favorite location is Grapevine because it's real close to me. But, like, is there one close to Blake? He's in Wiley.
Absolutely.
Is there anything over there? How many across
There's
the DFW
11
area?
across the Metroplex.
Okay. And
your Rowlett one is pretty close to me.
Yes.
They're everywhere, folks.
now I know we've been in some talks behind the scenes about you're going to, once the advertising campaign really kicks off, that you will have like a special, like a code or some kind of a thing available to people. Is that available yet?
It is available right now.
What do we got?
You mentioned the Dumb Zone, and you get 10% off TRT treatment for life.
Wow.
What is TRT?
Testosterone replacement therapy.
Okay. 10% off for life.
For your lifetime, Dan. No, and for you, that might not be that long, but
Oh.
Wow.
no.
Yeah.
But with
that's
the
why
help
we're hooking
of
up
Game
with you.
Day
Yeah.
Men's Health.
We're hooking up to extend that.
Well, we're trying to get you to live your life the best years while you have them.
And that's your main deal, the testosterone replacement. But like when I was in there last week, I was like, you got anything to help me? Like seriously, I was concerned about just being physically getting through the big summer events, and it's going to be hot and all that.
valid
And I guess,
concern.
yeah, I guess you guys. So the B12 shot is something that's on the menu.
Yes,
which is awesome.
Yes, and we gave you the one with the thousand mics, so it would last you more than one day.
Yeah, and you also do we've all heard about the IV thing for different stuff, but I know you do that as well. We probably should just talk about testosterone replacement because that's your main deal, but there's lots of things that you guys deal with regarding men's health.
No, there is.
Isn't that weird?
And something you mentioned earlier that, kind of threw me off a little bit, when we were talking about the 439 kittens.
Yeah.
And you said you weren't getting any tail. I was like, you need to come see game day.
Oh.
That will help?
We've got something that'll help you get some tail, Dan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even
Sounds like
Dan?
a guarantee. Even Dan.
I feel like they'd help, though, because also I have the problem of if I got the tail, what do I do with it?
Oh.
Can I handle this? And I feel like Game Day Men's Health would help me in that department as well.
We have some peptides that target all sorts of different things. And one of the peptides that came to mind that might work out well for you was PT141.
Now, what is a peptide? I've heard of that.
A peptide is simply just a chain of 40 or more amino acids, and our body has thousands of them. And I guess what kind of made the peptides become popular were some of the GLP-1s and some of the weight loss peptides that are out there now.
He's talking about the fat shot.
Yes.
Oh, really?
As Trump would say.
That's a peptide.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you guys help with
not only do we have peptides for weight loss, we've got peptides to help muscle mass growth. We've got peptides for cognitive purposes like NAD+.
What if I want to hit a softball further? Which one would that be?
Oh, that would definitely be probably the CJC 1295 Ipamorelin blend.
Oh, wow.
I was thinking that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
These peptides.
It's the one they told me about the other day.
See, we're trying to trick Dave here, thinking he doesn't know what he's talking about.
It's like
but
I'm trying to
apparently he
touch.
does.
I'm trying to touch 80.
He's passing every test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
80.
Just keep it moving.
Let's get
Blake.
to 65 first.
So when I went in there, is that kind of the process people go through? You get your testosterone levels checked, and then you kind of go off and you sit in a room with a doctor for like a half hour, and she'll talk you through some things and answer lots of questions for you.
That's correct. You come in for a free visit. It's absolutely free. You come in, you get a quick blood draw. It takes 5 minutes. We have an in-house lab. You get your results in 20 minutes.
Wow.
We'll let you know if your prostate's healthy. Guys, don't go to the doctor. You can at least come in and we can, let you know if your prostate's healthy and give you your total testosterone results in 20 minutes. Go over the results with our clinician, and she can make any recommendations, ask any questions you want. If you qualify for treatment and something you want, you get your first shot right then and there.
What's qualify mean? Like if you are in some kind of a zone?
Well, some people
numerical zone of your
it depends on your
testosterone's a bit low
testosterone numbers.
Yeah.
Some people might have enough testosterone where they don't need testosterone replacement therapy.
Oh, okay. So go find out for no cost.
That's absolutely correct.
Go find out for no cost, and they offer a lot there. The one thing they don't offer is they said to me afterward, they were like, "Oh, we did the blood test. Your prostate is good," and I'm like, "Whoa, don't." Where was the finger?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't do that part of it?
We don't do that, idiot.
Okay.
They're like, we can actually just test it this way. But I left feeling good, knowing that I'd been checked out, got the T levels checked.
Okay, nice.
Very easy process. Doesn't really even feel like a doctor's office, to be honest.
Yeah, and I guess the T, she told me the clinician, is that what we call?
Provider? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she just told me I guess I didn't know exactly how testosterone was administered, but I guess you can get it a few different ways. And
very informative.
Yeah. No, it was great.
Can I ask a question? Because I think a lot of men maybe are going through something or feeling a certain way every day and don't know that they need help. So what are the things I guess you should be looking for if there's listeners out there that aren't sure if they need to come in?
The most common thing, we have guys come in and they go, I don't know what's going on. I just seem to be lethargic. I'm tired. I get plenty of sleep. About 2:00 in the afternoon, I just start fading out.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they wake up and they just have some brain fog, their lack of focus, and they just don't understand what's going on. And those are all common signs of low testosterone. And it doesn't take but 45 minutes to come through game day and get all these services complimentary, no charge.
That's awesome.
And find out if you'd be a good candidate for testosterone replacement therapy.
Super easy.
Why did you get into this? Like you were telling me, you owned a different business before, and
Yeah,
you were like the first Game Day Men's Health in DFW.
We purchased the first territory.
Okay.
There are 1,050 territories were sold across the United States in less than a year. Game Day now has over 350 clinics open across the country. So now we're the largest testosterone placement brick and mortar company in the United States.
Wow.
So what was the thought on why we're doing this before Father's Day? Just because it's a men's health thing? Because it's not like I don't call there and give that as a present to your dad or husband or whatever, right?
I guess you could.
You do?
Yeah, it might be.
I think
like
you
just an
could.
appointment?
I think you could just from a wife's perspective, and then I'll answer let you answer. But
Better
like
than a
you could
tie.
make them an appointment followed by lunch with golf with their friend, whatever, and say, here's your Father's Day plans. Take care of yourself first for us, for your family, for your wife, for your kids, and then you get this big whatever they want, right? I think that's a great idea for people that are wondering.
Now, it was your idea, so you're saying it's great?
It's my idea.
Okay.
Because sometimes it's about getting them up and doing it, right? Like, just go
Yeah,
see
it is.
somebody. Because they don't want to. They're busy, they're tired, all the things. Just get them in the door, and then they'll realize.
And guys don't want to go to the doctor, and
Yeah.
they come home tired. Their wife wants their man to come home with some energy.
Yeah, at least, yes, all the energy. Play with the
Yeah.
kids, help out, and then,
Yeah.
see what happens.
What happens later on in the bedroom at night? Did I tell you guys what it does to your libido?
No, but I was just kind of assuming all that stuff is good.
That's why women want their men to come visit us.
I see. Okay.
My wife just wants me to be able to dunk.
Yeah.
I'm serious. She was like, you have a year. Figure
There's
it
no
out.
way you can you can't dunk. Can you grab the rim?
We're starting with the strikeout.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
We're going to work through this.
Before we start bragging about something else,
I'm taking this company to the moon.
Okay.
So if my wife is pregnant and I can't quite keep up right now, which peptide would that be?
You have one for making pregnant women
I
attractive?
was asking for.
No, he's saying she wants to do it all the time.
You probably need to come check us out with some PT-141 nasal spray.
Oh.
Nasal spray.
Yes.
All right.
Rip it and grip
Sounds
it.
easy.
I think Dave has some experience on that himself.
This is very exciting.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. We're glad
I
to
love
be in business with you guys. We think it matches with the audience and our bit. And
Staying alive.
Yeah, staying alive,
Living
being healthier.
It's a
Getting
perfect
hot.
fit.
Yeah. It's a good fit.
Yeah.
Guys, have anything else you'd like to add?
This is closing remarks.
Do you have the nasal spray with you?
All right, well, thanks, guys. So, website, all that. We're going to put it in the show notes, I would imagine. But
Yeah, it's on our website right now.
the
well.
website, where do people go?
GameDayMen'sHealth.com.
I was hoping you knew your website email address. Or
I think he was just deciding
URL.
which would be best.
He's the
of
peptides
website.
guy. They got a marketing guy
Right.
for the website.
GameDayMen'sHealth.com.
What's the website again? Yeah, GameDayMen'sHealth.com. And they are the sponsor of the Game Day Men's Health Studio.
Yeah! We did it.
Don't forget to mention the Dumb Zone, 10% off TRT treatment for lifetime.
There you go.
Just mention the Dumb Zone.
You got it.
Walk in and be like, F those guys, the Dumb Zone. They're like, well, it's 10%.
It is a
We
mention.
gotta,
Yeah.
gotta honor it.
Play the song.
All right, thanks.
Adios, mofo.
Gotta go before this becomes a zoo.
Thank you for watching my video. Subscribe and type for my name if you want to watch more of my video.
What does Blake do?
What does Blake do?
What does Blake do?
What would you say? What does Blake do? You do here. Listen together. What does Blake do? What would you say? What does Blake do? You do here. Listen together. What does Blake do? What would you say? What does Blake do? You do here. Listen together. What does Blake do? What would you say? You do here. What
do?
What would you say? What does Blake do?
What does Blake do?
You do here.
What does Blake do?